in to the Dropkick Basement, your favorite pro wrestling history podcast. My name is Mike Madden. I am joined by my co-host, Tommy Schultz. Tom, how are you this evening?
'Tis the season, Michael. 'Tis the season.
Yes, that's right. We've decorated our WrestleMania tree. We've got all of our gimmicks under the table, under the tree, and we're ready to roll with a little early edition of the Dropkick Basement, because we do want to make sure that we're part of the media surrounding WrestleMania, even though we're not in Las Vegas. So we're getting a jump on it. We're taking apart and we are tier ranking the Hall of Fame classes through the years of the WWE. This was again, we could do what the WWE is doing themselves and we could rank the best matches. I think we talked about that last year where we created our own cards of the matches that we loved about WrestleMania.
The top 10 quintessential WrestleMania matches.
Yeah. And I think our episode was better than what they put out on their own YouTube page.
I would say so.
So kind of fishing around for another topic to do that was sort of related to Mania season, and we landed on, let's talk about the Hall of Fame. We are a history podcast, and we might as well use our insight and our intuity to put forth what we think of each class and rank them in a tier ranking, as we do, pretty often on the show. So let's get after it. How do you feel? Like, are you ready to put on the tuxedo, to stand and clap and yell one more match at some of these guys?
I'm ready to give a speech or two.
Okay.
I got a few in the chamber.
At one point before the end of this episode, I do want you to come up with somebody that you would like to induct into the WWE Hall of Fame.
That's not already in?
That's not already in. Just think of somebody who you would say, hey, I want to give the speech for this person.
Okay.
So,
Hornswoggle.
I'm surprised he's not in there. So let's start tackling it. The very first class of the WWE Hall of Fame was 1993. If you listen to our last episode, this was a trivia answer.
I believe I got it correct.
And you did. I think you in typical Tom fashion, though, you did kind of hem and haw a little bit about it and kind of gave a little bit of a, well, it could be, and you finally landed on it. Yeah. Yes, 1993, the sole inductee, the first inductee into the Hall of Fame, Andre the Giant. A few months after he had passed away, to be specific, he got the nod. Only man in there. I think I have said this before, that although it's apropos because the McMahon family booked him and loved him and had a great relationship with Andre, it would have been nice to see more people in the first class. I could think probably of a handful of their long list of champions that probably should have been in as early as the first or second class. And I'm sure we'll get to a few of them as we go along in this first bunch. But I do think it's a nice gesture to put Andre in as the number one first guy by himself. Feelings? What's your feelings on Andre as a sole inductee?
So I like it, actually, because one, it was pretty shortly after his passing, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And also, like, he is one of, I would say, a handful of people who should be in the first class.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
And I think that being that one or two of those people were probably still working at the time, so you're not going to put them in yet. And True. Another was not in good standing with the company at the moment.
That's also true. Yeah.
that it's a good gesture of faith, like you said. Let's put Andre in by himself and make sure that everybody knows he is the ultimate. He is the guy that we look at as what epitomizes a Hall of Famer, and it'll set the tone going forward.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And it's the reverence of being inducted into the Hall of Fame. And they didn't do a ceremony for this. This was basically, it was announced from what Wikipedia and the WWE website kind of tells you. It was announced during an episode of Monday Night Raw that he was inducted, and they obviously did a little tribute. So it's a very interesting beginning to what would be their Hall of Fame and the way they treat their legends.
Yeah, I also think that the fact that there is no induction ceremony or anything like that, it doesn't really behoove you to put in a great deal of people if you're not going to have any sort of event around it.
Yeah.
So let's just say, okay, we're starting a Hall of Fame, and Andre's the guy.
Andre's our, yeah.
And this is like the postmark now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure, yeah.
You should theoretically be on this level in order to get into this Hall of Fame.
Oof, if that's the case, they might have quit. They might have quickly lost the thread on this one. No, theoretically is right. It's and again, it's funny. Like when you think about it, and you're saying to yourself, if you are paying attention to this in '93, and you're saying, wow, like WWE is going to do a they're going to do a Hall of Fame, and Andre's going to be the first inductee. I can't wait for them to build it.
Yeah.
And you've been waiting almost 40 years for them to build the building. So it's kind of like, that's fun to have a Hall of Fame. It's better to have a physical building. Yeah. But I think because of that case, because he's the first one, because there wasn't a ceremony, there wasn't any class, I think I got to put this as a B tier to start off with.
I would agree solely because, there's no pomp and circumstance around it. Yeah. There's no ceremony. You would think that, again, we have waited almost 40 years, but
yeah.
You would think that there would be some sort of physical representation of this. And because it's a one-man class, I would agree on B tier.
And that kind of like reminds me, I started watching a couple episodes of that Stephanie McMahon. They called it a Stephanie McMahon travel show, but that's such bullshit. And she does the first episode. She's in the new headquarters, that has that big Andre the Giant like mural.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, well, why didn't these again? Maybe it's they always want to have a main office for their staff and their creative people and production, whatever it may be. But couldn't you dedicate like a floor to being open to the general public and saying like, hey, come into the Hall of Fame? Like all these baseball stadiums have like, it's a small walk around Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
A little like a Monument Park at Yankee Stadium, or, what they have at Citi Field, or literally like Philadelphia, like all these parks have it, where it doesn't have to be big. It's just like, here's the plaques for the guys that got in. You can watch a little, sizzle reel for each guy, and like, set it up on your own, and then have like a few, mementos. And
you would think
you don't have to devote a lot of big space to it. You can cycle in different stuff that you want to show.
I mean, they have that giant warehouse of all like the old stuff.
I know. Yeah.
What are they doing with that?
It's they're saving it for other dumb A&E programs where they have Mick Foley go around and try to talk people into like selling a robe to them so they can put it in their goddamn warehouse. Like,
yeah, for no one to see.
So because of that, let's move on to the next class, which was the 1994 class. And this was the first time that they actually had a legitimate ceremony. They had it in Maryland, which kind of lines up with the WWE. That was where for years that was where their production. So all of the studio shows like Primetime Wrestling and All American Wrestling were shot in a sound studio in Baltimore. But here's your group. You have the Golden Boy Arnold Skaaland, Bobo Brazil. You have the Nature Boy Buddy Rogers, Chief Jay Strongbow, Classy Fred Blassie, Gorilla Monsoon, and Vince McMahon Sr.'s limousine driver, James Dudley.
Okay.
So
lost the luster pretty quickly.
It's right, yeah. It kind of falls off a hill. A lot of the names on here were close to both McMahons as they were building up the company. More so were right hand. Like Arnold Skaaland was the right hand man for Vince Sr. Running the buildings in the Northeast and a longtime road agent. Jay Strongbow, same thing. Gorilla was a part owner of the company. Blassie, Blassie probably deserves to be in here, even before you talk about his WWE career. If you talk about Blassie being like the king of like one of the original guys to go over to Japan and be a huge gaijin star in Japan during the 50s and 60s. So I think he's certainly is a guy that once he did settle down and leave the territories, he was a great heel manager for the longest time for both McMahons. Nature Boy Buddy Rogers, obviously one of the greatest and the first man to hold the NWA and the WWF titles, and then James Dudley, who they claim was a manager.
Okay.
He was an in-ring manager. He might have walked somebody down to the ring at the Garden or a TV taping maybe, in the early 70s. I'm not that familiar with his work other than the fact that he is in truth, I think Vince McMahon Sr. had him as a limousine driver, and then he started to give him more work in and around the office, and he was running booking buildings and doing promotion for the WWF during the late 60s, early 70s. So that's a bit of a, hey, you helped my dad out, you get in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I clicked on his Wikipedia just to see, and he did spend 9 seasons playing professional baseball.
Oh, really?
Prior to, he was in the Negro League.
Oh, okay. All right.
Prior to coming over to the WWF, I guess.
Yeah.
Then the WWF. So he had a little bit of a sports background prior to coming in, but
he could have been on our two sport pro wrestler.
He could have been. We
should have looked into him.
Damn. Hall of Famer.
Swing and a miss on James Dudley. The longest, I think he's not related to, but it would be a nice story if they ever tied it up and said, like, that's actually Big Daddy Dudley.
That was Daddy Dudley, yeah.
It would explain Devon. But you're looking at this group, and like I said, it's a lot of the New York territory stalwarts that were there. Monsoon, I think, he would be the one that people.
Yeah, he would be like if there were a headliner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he would have been the headliner.
Sure. And he's also like he had still been like part of their.
He was still on TV at this point.
Yeah, I was going to say he was part of their team. He ended up being the president of the WWF like a year later. Blassie had long since retired. Strongbow was still behind the scenes road agent at the time. Buddy Rogers had passed away. Bobo was still alive. But I don't really think, in my opinion, Bobo was not he's not a WWF guy.
No.
Bobo's a territories guy. Bobo was big in Detroit, but he was still again one of the legendary African American wrestlers, one of the pioneers. For sure. And so definitely deserving of a Hall of Fame nod and the recognition. Scullin was great at playing cards, but he was the manager for Backlund and he was the manager for Bruno Sammartino, so he did have a TV presence 10 years before this. So, there's merit to be said for all of them, but at the end of the day, I'd have to say, in my opinion, I think I'm giving this group a C.
I can agree with a C because you do have notable names. You have very worthy names. You have a few people that bring it down a bit. Not to name names, but a few people bring it down a little bit.
Okay.
Especially as the first class.
Yes.
So you have Andre, he's the first inductee, but that's a singular person. When you put a class together, I feel like there are a lot of people that could have gone in ahead of ahead of James Studley, ahead of Bobo Brazil, ahead of Arnold Scullin, probably ahead of Chief Jay Strongbow. I think you could keep Buddy Rogers, Freddie Blassie, and Monsoon in, and could have built a stronger class around those three people.
True. And you're right. If you have a better relationship with Bruno Sammartino at the time, he's a no-brainer.
He's the headliner.
He would have been the headliner, and that would have been and that would have elevated the group. But, on the same notion, you
got to have an undercard.
These were your locked in, your round table of wise men, so to speak, that helped you build your business before you started your national expansion. So, good amount of them. And also, remember, Buddy Rogers, he babysat Jimmy Snuka for a long time. And and kind of kept Jimmy Snuka out of a little bit of trouble. Not major trouble, but he kept Jimmy Snuka.
Not too much.
And he historically quit the WWF in 83. I think it was... No, yeah, he lasted in 83, even past the Nancy Argentina stuff. He quit the company in, I want to say it was the summer of 83 or the early fall of 83, because he couldn't stand being on the road with Jimmy Snuka anymore because Jimmy Snuka would not stop doing drugs.
I mean, if you're not a drug guy, that's not going to be a good move for you.
Well, it's also I think he had Snuka buy a house next to him at one point, or get an apartment near him so he could monitor him. Buddy Rogers was a bit of a saint during the early part of the 80s when it came to Snuka. If you ever want to look that up, there's some stories that you can read about the relationship that they had. So let's move on to 1995. We're still doing inductions. They did an induction ceremony June of 95 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Same weekend of the King of the Ring, which, by the way, that was the year that Mabel won the King of the Ring, and there was
historically one of the worst pay-per-views of all time.
There was a lot of audible ECW chants that night in Philadelphia. But this is an interesting class. So let's dive into it. You've got Antonina Rocca. You've got the Big Cat, Ernie Ladd. George the Animal Steel. Polish Power, Ivan Putski. The Fabulous Moolah. The Grand Wizard of Wrestling. Pedro Morales. That's your group. We're getting a little bit stronger when it comes to names that more people will know.
For sure.
And more people that were known for in-ring stuff. And I kind of say that with... I'm circling somebody with my eyes as I'm looking at this page. And I'm thinking to myself, nowadays, people kind of have a notion about Moolah outside of the business.
Oh, yes.
And how notorious she was for her manipulative antics outside. But as a pioneer of women's wrestling, as somebody that was, at least by the business side of it, trusted to train girls, trusted to, if they needed a group of them in in New York in December because they're running holiday shows and they want to feature the women's wrestlers. Moolah was pretty steadfast when it came, and they were like, hey, do we want to put a tag team match together, or should we have a world title match? She would get together and have good workers available to do it. Plus, she herself was that woman's champion for 28 years.
Forever, yeah.
Yeah, and was part of Rocket Wrestling as a catalyst and an antagonist to the Wendy Richter, Cyndi Lauper group. So she's, I'm gonna mock her behind the scenes, but for her contributions, we can't kill her that much. But give me your thoughts on this class and the names that we're associating with the 95 class.
So I'm going to say that this is definitely a stronger class than the last one. Mm-hmm. As a whole, I am not very familiar with Antonino Rocca. Mm-hmm. And
inventor of the dropkick.
Okay.
And acrobatic, very and I think he was a commentator on some of their syndicated programs too. So
okay, not insane, not like so familiar with much of the in-ring work of any of these people, but mm-hmm. by name, Ernie Ladd is a huge, and again, like this is where it gets weird, where they're saying WWE Hall of Fame or WWF Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I would associate Ernie more outside of the WWF than I would inside of the WWF. So that's where it gets like, it is technically like they consider it the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, but they're putting their name on it.
Yeah,
so
of course,
that's where should he be in the Hall of Fame? Absolutely. Should he be in the WWF Hall of Fame in the third class of people being inducted? That's kind of shaky ground.
Yeah, you're taking a leap.
Exactly. George Steele, while one of the most famous characters of all time, again, the third ever class.
This is where I think he deserves the merit for a few reasons. A, at the time he's a road agent. B, that's a memorable character.
It is. Oh, 100%.
And old-time wrestling fans will know. Like George Steele he was a unique challenger. He was the only guy, and for a long time I think he held this. I think other than and Ivan didn't do it, but he was the only guy that challenged 3 babyface heavyweight champions in the WWF.
Okay.
So he was a Bruno challenger, he was a Backlund challenger, and he was a Hogan challenger. There's not, like I have looked this up low and high, and I think maybe you can get away with saying that Nikolai Volkov was the same, but he was a different character. He was the Mongol when he wrestled against Bob and he wrestled against Bruno. It's tough to find somebody. So I think like that's the type of thing. Those little bits of like trivia where it's like, hey, do you want to like talk about how long George Steele was? He's not a great wrestler. He was He was basically like a walk-in brawl, like eat the turnbuckles and hit you with like a shiv or whatever it was. But when you talk about like a guy that could come into a territory and basically be set up to have a run against your champ and be, an indomitable menace to your champ, Steele was a go-to guy for a long time for them. So I think that's as much as you can kind of pad his resume to say like, all right, he did kind of like, he was that lovable, like, monosyllabic, animal character, where most people knew him in, post 85. But I think even before then, you could make a case for it that he should be in that one of those early classes.
Okay. All right. I mean, growing up, I was more familiar with the very late career of George the Animal Steele and not everything that he did before. Mm-hmm. So, to me, he was just the guy that ate the turnbuckles.
True.
But again, then you have Pedro Morales, Grand Wizard, Moolah, who are like bona fide first ballot Hall of Famers. I think that the three of them bring this class to a B over like a little bit higher.
Okay.
Than the last one.
Okay.
Personally.
Yeah.
In my eyes.
Yeah, a little bit deeper. You have less limo drivers.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that had good runs and were good this is a good character group.
Yeah,
for sure.
But again, we'll get into it as the years progress, but this is still the when you're looking at these first three classes, this is the WWF Hall of Fame.
Yes.
We're talking about guys who, I mean, aside from one or two of them, made their bones in WWF or the WWF and were solidified in that territory.
New York territory.
For the majority of their career.
Yeah.
So this is before we get, start going all over the place with it.
Mm-hmm.
But as it stands here, I think that this is the strongest class that they had done, collective group.
Yeah. That's a good point. All right, so shall we move on to 1996? 1996 it was held at the Marriott Marquis in New York City, 96, same weekend as Survivor Series. So we still don't have this as part of the WrestleMania presentation.
Okay. It was actually after way after WrestleMania, right?
Yeah. It would have been November. So here are your guys in the class. Jimmy Superfly Snuka, the aforementioned Jimmy Superfly Snuka, the unpredictable Johnny Rodz, Killer Kowalski, Captain Lou Albano, Baron Michael Cicluna, Pat Patterson, the Valiant Brothers, the first group or team or faction, I should say, that are in there, tag team, and then Vince McMahon Sr. Now this is an eclectic group. There's a lot of
we're all over the place here.
There are some really important guys, and then there are some absolute fucking duds.
Duds with a Z.
And I will pick apart the two duds that
let's go
make no sense just right off the rip. Johnny Rodz was a television job guy.
Insane.
Yes, he was a trainer, and he had his school in New York and in Brooklyn that trained a lot of guys that eventually became big stars. Names are escaping right, but he was Taz's original trainer, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
Tommy Dreamer, I think, was a Johnny Rodz school guy. A few others that went through the Johnny Rodz school. He was there for a long time. He was basically like the jobber to the stars. So if you're on television and you need to get a baby face over, whether it was at television or whether it was at the Garden, Johnny Rodz was going to be on that card. But he's not known. He was known elsewhere. This is a guy that worked in Los Angeles for a while as kind of an important heel. Java Rook was his name out in Los Angeles, but he was in no way, shape, or form is he recognized for being Java Rook somewhere else. Basically, he's going in this Hall of Fame because he lasted a long time in their company, and he did not mind counting ring lights night after night on TV.
So can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm, sure.
So in the there are a lot of people that look at wrestling and they look at wrestling as, oh, that's WWF, WWE, whatever. Mm-hmm. You know, they think wrestling is WWF,
yes.
WWE.
At this time, especially, sure, yeah.
So if you're in that mindset, right? Mm-hmm. And we're now talking about the 4th ever in Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Johnny Rods goes in. Preposterous.
Well, I'll take it one step further. Baron Michael Cicluna.
I mean, at least I've heard of Johnny Rods.
Yeah, I was going to say, like,
this guy.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to dig like good facts. Other than I know he did hold their tag team title on a couple of occasions. Could I name his partner? Probably not without looking it up. But by the time that I had caught wind of him on television, he's a job guy. He's the guy that's teaming up with Johnny Rods, and they're putting over Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas on TV. 2 guys that you know who they are.
Yeah.
So I don't see where that's, other than loyalty, I don't see where that's a Hall of Fame resume over, again, a litany of guys that we will be talking about later.
Exactly.
This makes no sense to me.
Yes.
It makes no sense.
100%.
I mean, the rest of the group is solid, you know.
It is. And not until you mentioned that this was the same weekend as Survivor Series did I put together that that's the only reason that Jimmy Superfly Snuka was on that Survivor Series card that year as a mystery partner.
That makes, I forgot. Oh, shit. And I was at that show, too. And I remember like his music kicking in. He was like
the place went nuts.
It was like a mystery partner, and because it's the Garden, everybody loves Snuka.
Exactly.
And he got his pop. He looked like shit.
Awful.
He might have been wearing boots that night.
I think he was, and he had like a singlet on. If I remember correctly.
So it wasn't his normal Jimmy costume, but. And I think on commentary, like Albano was like, dipping in on commentary during that show, and he's just doing his normal like spouting nonsense. I'm like,
yeah,
look at this crew. But so again, those are 2 guys. Like Snuka was a phenom for them.
Yeah,
just like Moolah, you have to take their in ring and the overness that Snuka had, and that's what you bottle up. And he was over in WWF. He was over in the NWO.
Especially in the Garden.
Everywhere that Jimmy went, Jimmy was a fucking... He was a main event. He was so big for them. Albano's the same way. Albano was synonymous with New York for, close to, 20, 25 years. So those are guys. Kowalski. Just like Rods, you're talking about a guy who trained a lot of people in the business.
Yeah.
Who was very, very well respected. And again, another traveling heel that wrestled Backlund and he wrestled Bruno tons of times and was very strong.
Yeah. And I think that on his merits, it's more along the lines of the training aspect of it because much like Ernie Ladd in the prior class, I would say that Kowalski is more so known outside of the WWF realm.
I think so.
As it comes to his time in the ring, anyway. Mm-hmm. So that again is it's yes, he deserves to be in the Wrestling Hall of Fame, but when we're talking about, we're also putting Johnny Rods in.
Yeah, right.
Have to take this all with a grain of salt.
Yeah, the rules are out the window at this point. Johnny Rods and Mikel Cicluna are put into this one.
But then, especially when we talk about two of the bigger names on this list, to have them in the same class as these guys is borderline a slap in the face.
Could be, yeah, and moving away from Walter. Mr. Kowalski, then you have you have the Valiants.
Yeah, which.
And this is what's very funny about the Valiants going in is that Boogie or Handsome Jimmy, as he was known in the WWF, he left. He got tired of traveling all through New York, and he wanted to go back down and work in the South. And he did for another probably 80 years. And I'm not being hyperbole with that. Literally, Boogie's probably working a show this weekend.
I wouldn't doubt it.
At Mania. But
he might be on spring break.
Yeah. He should have got the call. But they had to run him and Luscious Johnny as they were like heels, like they were like heels that people liked because they were with Albano, they had a rap, they were characters unto themselves. Johnny Valiant never came back to work for them after I think 87 or early 88 when he left to go back to the AWA.
Thankfully.
And then the other brother, I don't even think they put the other brother in there, whose name escapes me.
They're just listing the two of them.
Yeah, it's just Jimmy and Johnny. Gentleman Jerry was the other one. When Boogie would fuck off, or Johnny Valiant couldn't wrestle, they would bring in Gentleman Jerry, and he'd be the fall guy for the tag team.
So my question on Gentleman Jerry, did they spell it Gentleman and Jerry both with J's?
No, the G for gentleman, the J for. But yeah, he so that's the story on the Valiants. Interesting that they would have been the first tag team you're putting in there. Like, you've got a lot of people.
That's borderline insane.
Samoans should have been, if you're putting Snuka in there, Samoans should have been in this first group. But again, we'll get the Samoans down the road. The two other names in this one, obviously Pat Patterson was the creative force that was still lingering around at that time. Much deserved. First Intercontinental Champion. Brilliant mind.
The heralded tournament to win the Intercontinental title. Yeah. That never happened.
Rio de Janeiro's favorite son. But he had also been a commentator. He had been, part of their team since '82. So it's definitely, it goes without saying that, like, if they had restructured this or rethought about it, he would have been in the first or second class, maybe even the third class if they had their act together. And then Vincent J. McMahon, the old man, as many people call him, he's an interesting case. He could have been the first inductee if the family was. Remember how arrogant the family got in like the late '90s, where the whole fucking thing was about them. I'm sure they would have been like, if they were like, we're going to start a Hall of Fame, it probably would have been the father or the grandfather as the first person that was in it.
Yeah, I would say like he is probably one of maybe two or three other people that could have gone in with Andre in that first class.
Absolutely, sure as shit.
Should have.
Should have. Right. How do you feel about this class overall?
Really gets fucking dragged down. Mm-hmm. Really gets dragged down by the Valiants, by Mikkel and fucking Johnny Rods. As strong as some of them are, I have to give this a D.
I'm gonna second that emotion.
I have to give that.
This is a D. Yeah, these guys are
like huge. You fucked.
You got You got jobbers. You might have Gentleman Jerry Valiant in this Hall of Fame too. Name redacted. Yeah. This is a D class. This is a D class. So after '96, they put the Hall of Fame on ice.
Obviously, that this class was the reason that they put the Hall of Fame on ice. They're like, okay, yeah, Johnny Rods went in. We got to take a while off. We need some people to. We got
to think about this.
we need some people to be removed from the company for a little while before we.
That's right.
Because otherwise, they were going to have to start putting active wrestlers in.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Johnny Rod's Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Clear the decks. Let's get everybody else. So they come back with a vengeance in 2004. And this is when they start putting it on the same weekend as WrestleMania. And this WrestleMania was the WrestleMania 20 from Madison Square Garden. They did the Hall of Fame at the Hilton in Midtown. Great class. I'm going to run down this class. This class is so good. Big John Studd, Bobby the Brain Heenan, the Magnificent Morocco, Greg the Hammer Valentine, the King of Wrestling, Handsome Harley Race, Jesse the Body Ventura, the Junkyard Dog, Sergeant Slaughter, Superstar Billy Graham, El Matador Tito Santana, and the first celebrity in the WWE Hall of Fame, the gambler himself, Pete Rose. Notice how everybody has kind of a gimmick name to them as they're going in, and that's key because this one is rich with people that were memorable.
You start getting into the Vince Jr. era in this class. Oh, yeah. This is where a lot of the guys were before his time, but they also arguably made some of their bigger impacts in the entertainment side more so than the wrestling side.
Yeah, this is kind of like we're ramping up to the WrestleMania era, and these were a lot of guys that were, whether they were, and I'm sure we'll get into it. There are a few people here that you can say, much like Ernie Ladd or Kowalski, didn't necessarily make their name in the WWF,
100%.
But certainly were part of it enough that they were memorable characters on the show. And
100%.
This is the type of group that I look at this and I'm like, I want to book this house show. I want to put, I want to put a card together, even if it's 4 matches. I want to put a card together with this group because you could sell tickets with this group.
This is the first one where I am completely familiar with 100% of the people that are on here, and I know who they all are, both in the ring and for anything they've did after their post-wrestling career as well.
Yeah. I think so when you're looking at it, Pete Rose is a joke. So the less said about Pete Rose, the better. They're trying to be cute and funny with it. And Rose is a big part of that ceremony. I think everybody that did a speech that night or everybody that was doing an induction speech had something to say about Pete Rose, and he was just having a fucking ball. And he had done the spots at WrestleMania for a few
years in a row. Yeah.
So he's part of their little inner circle, and he's in on the joke, and he's not being an asshole about it. But the less said about Pete, the better.
Should he have been the first celebrity? No.
Lauper.
Like Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali. You're right.
There are a lot of people that could have went in before him. But I understand what they're doing in the tongue-in-cheek thing with Pete Rose. I get it.
They're taking the piss. I see this has, again, it's got arguably 2 of my favorite personalities in pro wrestling with Heenan and Morocco. I've talked on this podcast a lot about the 2 of them. So I don't have to say that much about them. I think you and I can both agree that they are absolutely befitting of Hall of Fame.
Bobby Heenan is one of the best ever to do.
Yes.
To just be in the business.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. One of the most entertaining people that was in a business that pivoted into almost strictly entertainment. And he did everything. Great manager. Hall of Fame manager. He could basically, you could say, all right, if we want to start inducting people like they do now 3 times.
He could be in 3 times.
Yeah, exactly. You could absolutely do it that way. Harley Race, I think he is one of the guys. He's one of 2 guys that are on here, in my opinion, that had stronger careers away from WWE.
Him and the Dog for sure.
Him and Junkyard Dog, absolutely. But Harley was a traveling world champion who, when there was an agreement between the WWF and the NWA, he would come in and work the Garden, or if they were in Florida, he would wrestle Backlund in Florida. So he was known, and he was like part of their their major cards.
Yeah.
A couple times a year or a couple times every few years. So it's not like they tried to make you erase your memory in '86 when he came in as the king of wrestling. But if you had any sense about you, you would say, man, this guy's in his mid-40s. How is he just getting into the WWF?
Yeah, that's fucking nuts.
How is this the case? So you had it kind of forced you to do the research and then realize, oh, this is like one of the most decorated world champions. Could be he's in the discussion for the greatest NWA World Heavyweight Champion of all time. And the King of Wrestling he was a main event with Hogan.
Yep.
And he did, he did some pretty outrageous stuff with Hogan.
That was kind of the match that fucked his career. Right?
He took a table spot in a Saturday Night's Main Event, and it hit him in the spleen, and it busted him up. Motherfucker, tough man, by the way.
Toughest motherfucker.
Toughest man in the world. Continued the match, and then I think still did WrestleMania with a busted spleen. And then, eventually took, almost a year off to get surgery, and he was never really the same after that. And he shouldn't have been. Guy was 48 years old when he was doing all that stuff. So, and that wasn't like 48 now where guys are going to the gym and working out. No. Harley was smoking probably a pack of cigarettes and drinking booze like a madman and traveling all over the place, at that older age. And then still taking, diving headbutt spots to the fucking floor. Harley Race deserves a wing in the Hall of Fame because he's so fucking great. And then JYD, Junkyard Dog. He was a big character for them, and he was, he sold a lot of merchandise.
Yep, big merch mover.
He's, at a time when they couldn't rely on Snuka being around as much, Junkyard Dog was the number 2 baby face, and he could sell out arenas for the WWF, that's for sure. But he was also way past his physical prime. He was much better in Mid-South and even Georgia in the early part of the 80s, where he was a household name, and and the people that talk about Junkyard Dog and the way that he's remembered is more or less he was in WWF, he was part of their cartoon, but he was the biggest thing in Louisiana in the early 80s, and he was Ernie Ladd's golden boy, and he was major box office for them.
Yeah.
So I think, like I said, he just like Harley, where he did have a good run in WWF, and he was there for 4, maybe 5 years towards the twilight of his career. Although he did still wrestle until 93 or 94. But even still, I think his he deserves a Hall of Fame nod. The rest of the guys are, it's a litany of, you look at their accolades. Billy Graham, everybody copied Billy Graham's style. Yep. Everybody wanted to be a little bit of Billy Graham. And he would, if they were going to do this ceremony, because they didn't have a headliner, you could make an argument that Billy Graham would have been the headliner of this group. Jesse Ventura you do not understand the magnitude of how Jesse Ventura was, outside of wrestling. People knew Jesse Ventura was a wrestling announcer. Yeah. And he was a personality. He was for a while, the best heel announcer in pro wrestling, and really changed the way that heel announcers were kind of marketed and how they were presented. Was when Jesse was on TV every week. He wasn't just a guy that would pop in and rag on the baby faces, or somebody like Piper who would host a show with Gordon Soley but wouldn't call matches. Ventura was a new it was a new style.
Ventura and Gorilla Monsoon, those were, for me, the guys that I grew up.
Yeah.
That was the duo. They were the what became later Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because
Monsoon and Ventura fucking they built the mold that everyone follows to this day.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, there's no doubt about it. So yeah, Jesse's a well-deserved shit in the ring. By the way, if you ever watch a Jesse Ventura match, he's fucking shits.
Never will.
Decent tag team guy, and he could get heat as a tag team guy, and a good talker, but fucking disaster in the ring. Another guy who was kind of a disaster in the ring was John Studd. Pretty immobile.
Well, yeah,
but also like one of the most imposing. Like if you're looking at a call sheet, it's a John Studd Andre match or a John Studd Hogan match, or if he's got an opponent that's big enough to stand up to John Studd and take him on, he's gonna be put over well. And he's definitely like, he was a mean heel. He had a gimmick where the body slam challenge followed him everywhere he went. And he was, again, he was a good Hogan opponent and a great Andre opponent for so long that, everybody remembers him. Valentine's another guy that had sneaky good runs during different pockets. Late 70s, there are some matches from the Garden that are absolutely fantastic with Bob Backlund and Greg Valentine. And man, when Greg Valentine was a younger worker, God, that dude he could put on a great match and he could get a lot of heat. He's another guy. I wouldn't be surprised. He's probably at WrestleCon this weekend. So if anybody's
looks
listening
exactly
to this,
the same.
Yeah, go go tug on his hair. But no, he was a loyal guy for that company for a long time. Won almost every title that you could think of other than the World Championship. For sure deserves his place in this group. Slaughter was a former heavyweight champion. A big name away from wrestling, without a doubt. Again. He's, when you talk about big names out of it, and you're looking at this Hall of Fame up to this point, Snuka, Albano, Chief J Strongbow, Slaughter, they're all in the same breath. And yeah, I mean, definitely deserves that. And was a guy that came back, and he was good behind the scenes presence for WWE. And he did have that knockout match with I don't know if you've ever seen it, with Pat Patterson.
No.
A boot camp match at the Garden, 1982. I think it was 82, 81 or 82. Boot camp match, anything goes. It was fucking phenomenal. Slaughter flies around the place. Patterson flies around the place. It's really like like early hardcore stuff.
Okay.
And especially coming out of New York, who really didn't, they didn't cater to a lot of that stuff. To watch that match, you're like, holy shit! Like, look how fast like Slaughter would move, and like for a big guy, again, another big guy, he's like a 300-pounder, and he's taken, he used to take that bump in the corner where he wouldn't hit the turnbuckle, he would hit the post, and he would kind of flop out of that, and then either do another roll flip or just like hit with a thud. Slaughter was great. Slaughter fucking was great in the early 80s. Another guy I highly recommend. He really slowed down after he left the WWF the first time, or I guess in early 85 when he left and did the G.I. Joe shit.
Okay.
But go back and watch Slaughter in this time frame. Slaughter in Mid-Atlantic in 82 and 83 is tag teaming with Don Carnoodle. He's fantastic. That's my little homework for you, is get in tune with old Sergeant Slaughter matches. And then the last guy that was on the list was Tito Santana. Long time, wrestled in the first 9 WrestleManias.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, and again, a perennial contender for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
There was whispers that if they didn't bring Hogan in 84, that Tito might have been given that run as the world champion after Backlund. Which I don't know. Tito wasn't a great mic skills guy, but Tito was over. He and he could work. He could always work, and he's pretty underrated when it comes to workers.
Oh, for sure.
But he lasted a long time in pro wrestling. He will be at WrestleCon, I'm sure. I did see his name on the list. So, but yeah, Tito rounds it out. He's the last guy in this group. I like this group, but I want to hear what you have to say first about the about the tier ranking on this one.
This is for sure the first A tier that we have. I mean, this is star-studded.
Yep.
Half of these guys should have gone in over 75% of the people that went in the 1990s classes.
Yeah. It's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that you could have had 3 headliners on this in this class alone.
Yeah.
Just not only stars in wrestling, you have guys who transcended the business and went outside. Sergeant Slaughter with G.I. Joe, Jesse Ventura and Predator.
Yeah.
I mean, you have bona fide fucking stars.
Yeah.
This is the first. This is Pete Rose, I would say.
Drags it down a little bit?
Pete Rose prevents this from being S tier.
Okay. All right. All right. So we're banking this as A tier. I'm going to agree on that one. And we're going to move on to 2005.
I think we've agreed on every one so far.
Pretty much. Yeah. All right. So let's look at 2005. Now, 2005, they shortened the group, but they packed it.
I do think that last one was a bit much.
Yeah. It could have been split into 2.
Yeah, I think that, 100%.
So let's get to 2005, which was at the Universal Amphitheater in Los Angeles, California. WrestleMania weekend, WrestleMania 21 weekend. When when WWE went Hollywood. Your headliner. This is the first year that they had a headliner because probably it was written in his provisions that he had to be a headliner. Good old Terry Jean, our friend, wrestling's greatest liar, Hulk Hogan. He's your headliner with quite a crew of a rogues gallery of Hogan opponents underneath him. Roddy Piper, Paul Mr. Wonderful Orndorff, the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov, Bob Orton Jr., the Ace, Cowboy Bob Orton, and the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, round out this crew. I mean, I don't think there's a weak person in this group. Much can be said about Piper could have been a headliner on his own.
Should have been.
And was probably, this is before, again, I'm sure Hogan politicked about this, and he was like, you're going to bring me back in, brother. I'm going to be at Mania, and I'm going to be the headliner of the Hall of Fame, and I'm going to go on last, and I need Piper to know that I'm, up above him.
I'm surprised that Mr. T didn't go in this class as well. This is essentially WrestleMania 1.
Yeah.
Let's just put WrestleMania 1 in the Hall of Fame right now.
It's for chronological purposes, WrestleMania 1. But yeah, I think Hogan being a headliner is important for them.
He's another guy that, being that he was still active in the company in 1993, obviously I don't think that they wanted to put active participants into the Hall of Fame, so that's probably the only reason why that he didn't go in then. He is with Andre and Vince Sr. and Bruno and Pedro. Probably that should have been the first ever class.
Make your point.
Those 5 people should have probably been the first class of.
In hindsight, they probably would have been.
No. Like, this is looking at it way after the fact.
Yeah.
But
Piper's strong. Orndorff is strong. Sheik and Volkov are characters, and they're easily just so fucking memorable.
Yeah. No. Yeah, for sure.
They're part of the cartoon. Jimmy Hart's a legend in wrestling. Again, a little bit glean is off him for being basically a barnacle to Hogan for 10 years before this. But even if you go back and you watch Jimmy in Memphis, Jimmy's so fucking great in Memphis, and he was fucking great in WWF.
Yep.
And Bob Jr. is a mechanic. The first man to be referred to as having the excellence of execution by Gorilla Monsoon.
Surprised Brother Brudai didn't go in this one too.
There's only so much. I bet Hogan he was like, brother, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have Dennis Rodman. We're gonna have Mr. T. We're gonna have Brutus Beefcake, Jimmy Hart. That's the Hall of Fame,
and the Nasty Boys,
and the Nasty Boys. And they were like, "Get the fuck out of here! We'll let you be the headliner, and we'll let you have Sylvester Stallone induct you, who had very little to do with your wrestling career, but other than that,
nothing.
Go fuck yourself." I'm gonna give it an. I'm gonna give it an A.
I'm gonna give it a B, and the only reason I'm gonna give it a B is because I feel like Roddy Piper should have been a headliner, and I feel like they fucking did him a disservice by putting him in this class. I think they could have saved him as a headliner. I think Roddy Piper is a bona fide. As we go on, I think even the next year, which we're not to yet, I think Roddy Piper should go in as a headliner before the person that goes in the next class.
So let's all right. Let's give it an A.
Well, I'll concede to the A. But
we should give it an A.
I'll say it's an list wise, it's an A. I just have a problem with fucking Terry and his bullshit.
Okay, all right. Terry and his bullshit aside, he's still it's still a phenomenal class. 2006. We're gonna move along to 2006 at the Rosemont Theater, Chicago, Illinois, Rosemont, Illinois, to be more specific. Headliner, Bret the Hitman Hart, the excellence of execution himself. Other inductees, Eddie Guerrero, Mean Gene Okerlund, sensational Sherry Martel, Tony Atlas, Vern Gagne, the Blackjacks. We're back to putting a tag team in here. So Blackjack Mulligan, Blackjack Lanza, and Celebrity Wing gets another name, William the Refrigerator Perry. Very Chicago-y.
Yeah. This one's all over the place for me.
Yeah.
There's so much they did right and so much they did wrong.
There's a handful of people that I love. Like if I'm looking at the first four names that I read 100%. Off, I'm giving them everything that they want. Fantastic.
And like, this was the perfect time to put Eddie in. Being that away. He had just passed away. Yeah. This was kind of the reconciliation with Bret and the company. True. So that makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Okerlund could have been in the prior two classes.
Mean Gene is the best to ever do what he did.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The best of all time. And Sensational Sherry is one of the best female managers, or managers, period.
Or wrestlers. Don't forget that Sherry can fucking work. Sherry's one of the greatest all around. Like we talked about it with Heenan.
Yeah, she's
Sherry Martel is like the female Bobby Heenan to a lesser extent because if
they ever gave her a fucking run on commentary, I'm sure it would have been great.
She was so versatile and she was so like again she could draw heat, she could make you laugh, she could get in the ring and she could mix it up. She could take a bump like a fucking crazy woman. And she would take bumps for, non-wrestlers too. She's taking bumps for Miss Elizabeth, on some of these shows. Like, and she's, man, again, another one that I could talk a lot about Sherry Martel because I think she's vastly underrated. Even though she's a Hall of Famer and a lot of people love her and have come around to her, I think Sherry Martel is fucking criminally underrated.
Absolutely.
Vern Gagne is still when you're looking at. Hey, this isn't the WWE Hall of Fame. This is the Wrestling Hall of Fame.
This is like what we were talking about.
Vern owned a very successful territory. This was a nice extending of the olive branch because they wanted to buy the AWA catalog at the time to put it on their DVDs and make some money off of it. Vern deserves recognition because he was a great wrestler, great in-ring wrestler, even though it was before my time and whatnot. But again, ran a very successful promotion for a long time. Then I think it falls off a table.
Dude, fucking Tony Atlas getting his fucking face stepped on. by all of independent wrestling.
Him.
There's
So all right. Here's the thing with Tony, and
I
I
get
have
it.
not seen the Dark Side of the Ring that recently aired about him, but he was homeless. He was down in his luck. He had too much success very quickly, and a lot of that was in Georgia Championship Wrestling. But he was a tag team champion in the WWF, the first full African American tag team champions. He was an undercard guy, for them, or I guess like maybe a mid card, upper mid card to a certain extent. He was the only person. This is a great stat. He was up until WrestleMania 6. He's the only person or he was the last guy to get a pinfall victory over Hogan. He had pinned Hogan in '81 at the Spectrum just before Hogan got fired and went and did the Rocky movie. But they put Tony Atlas over Hogan then, and then he didn't take another pinfall victory in the WWF until the Ultimate Warrior in WrestleMania 6. So chew on that for a while. Maybe Tony had a little bit more stroke than the average person, but is he a Hall of Famer? No.
Even to this day,
no. Yeah.
Like when we're putting people in fucking 30 years later,
it's a flimsy argument. The Blackjacks were a fun
good tag team, but the second tag team ever.
Mulligan. Mulligan's great. Lands is dog shit.
But he had all of the. That's another one where it's like he's a guy behind the scenes, so that's why.
Yeah.
Like, what he did behind the scenes, I think, was more paramount to them in their eyes than what he did in the ring. So they're like, well, this guy is a huge part of the company. Are we going to put him in by himself? No. Mm-hmm. So we'll put the team in together.
Right. We'll hook Mulligan in for this one.
But again, should they have been the second tag team ever put?
Oh, absolutely not. No.
Into the Hall of Fame? No.
I can't. Yeah, I can't. Again, you still haven't come around to the Samoans. And then William the Refrigerator Perry. It's obviously
it's in Chicago.
It's a Chicago.
That's the only reason why.
He
was in. He did one thing ever.
Yeah. Well,
with the company, one thing ever.
We'll get to people who only did one thing ever for this company and didn't get their flowers. I mean, the top 4 people make this an A for me. Especially Brett, who had to swallow a lot of shit to get to this Hall of Fame. On that accord, I'm giving this an A. I don't know how you feel about it.
I'll agree with you.
Okay.
On those 4.
Yeah.
Again,
they're so good. The 4 are so good.
They should have made it in before like 75% of the first 3 classes. Like just like I said about like the last 2, those 4 alone should have been in the first 3 classes.
Yeah. Good. All right. So we're gonna stick with the A for that group. We'll move on to 2007. And 2007 is at the Fox Theater in Detroit, Michigan. Your headliner, the American Dream, baby, Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty.
Joining Dusty is Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, Jerry the King Lawler, Jim Ross, Mr. Fuji? ? Nick Bockwinkel, the Sheik, and the Wild Samoans finally make it to our Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Man,
this one has me really torn.
Okay, take me through it.
Okay, so this is an so I always get him confused. This is a subjective opinion.
Of course, it's subjective.
Okay,
go ahead.
So this is, to me, growing up, Mr. Perfect was in my like top 5 wrestlers of like my childhood.
Yeah.
So, and again, this was I'm pretty sure like not too long after he passed away.
passed away in 2003, I believe.
Was it that long?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. 4 years clear.
But still, like...
Yeah, it's still fresh.
I think
yeah.
It's still fresh in the sense of, like, he was a young guy, so I think, like, they wanted to put him in fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Dusty, one of the best ever.
Yeah, Dusty's fantastic, Dusty.
And then, like I said about Monsoon and Jesse, like, the pivotal years of my wrestling fandom, Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler were the voices of that.
Yeah.
So, 100%.
Great that they put them in together.
Put them in together. Awesome. Mr. Fuji was, like... I know he had, like, an in-ring career that I am not very familiar with his stuff in the ring. But as a kid, Mr. Fuji was the fucking manager that I hated. He was always such a little fucking bastard.
Sneaky.
He was such a sneaky fuck. And then, like, Nick Bonkwickle is one where it's not that I don't have respect, because everyone speaks so highly of Nick Bockwinkel as, like, one of those guys that, and this is going to go back to what we were saying earlier about a few other people. He didn't make his bones in the WWF, so this is like this is a legacy wrestling Hall of Fame kind of deal. They kind of do one or two of these a year, if you notice, like every time. They try and kind of acknowledge guys that maybe didn't get to the peak or didn't get to the WWE or didn't have their peak in the WWE. And he is by far one of those guys.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Like, absolute legend. The Sheik, kind of
the same category, yeah.
Same category, and the fact that they're in Detroit.
That's
gives another nod to. I think that's
a regional,
a big reason that he went in this specific class. I think that as a class together, and the Wild Samoans. I mean, one of the most influential tag teams. This would have been, I would say, maybe the number one tag team that I would have put in.
Yeah. Oh,
in terms of, like, if we're going in order of who is influential, best in the company,
and deserving of it. Yeah.
Deserving of it, head and shoulders above the Blackjacks and the Valiants.
Yeah.
I would say as a class, as a whole, I'm giving this an S tier.
I'm going to agree with you. This is an S. This is an S tier. And the reason why I'm going to agree with you is, again, you're looking at the names at the top of this: Dusty, Hennig, Jerry Lawler, and Bockwinkel are 4 world heavyweight champions.
And I mentioned Jerry's commentary. I didn't even go over the fact that he is one of the best drawing performers in the territory era of wrestling by himself.
Hands down.
Essentially.
Hands down.
By himself.
Yeah.
Memphis, he was the king. Yep. Literally the king of Memphis.
He was a 317-time USWA World Heavyweight Champion.
I mean, the guy would sell out the same town 52 weeks a year.
Yeah.
Just based on his booking. Like,
absolutely. Yeah. No. He's a again, if you took the commentary out of it, Jerry Lawler moonwalks into the Hall of Fame as a pro wrestler, as a character, as a he could be the most dastardly conniving heel that you've ever seen, and then the next week or the next month he turns babyface and the people are, they're stopping traffic so Jerry Lawler could walk by. Bockwinkel, I encourage you to see Bockwinkel Lawler matches from Memphis are fucking tremendous. They would do hour-long draws in Memphis. They would do kind of fucked finishes where it looks like Jerry wins, but Bockwinkel like threw him over the top rope or whatever, while the referee's knocked out. And Bockwinkel's promo before the match or after the match, you've never heard anybody explain away a loss or a screwy finish as like, that's exactly how I drew it up. And he's such an intelligent presentation. Bobby Heenan was his manager, and Bobby Heenan didn't even have to talk for him, although he did a lot. but it was just a setup. And then Bockwinkel would like turn your head into a pretzel just by explaining to you why he's so great and why he's the most, most legendary world heavyweight champion that they have anywhere. Fantastic stuff. So yeah, we're gonna give this S tier.
100%.
It's a great group. Let's move to 2008, where 2008 we're in Orlando, Florida, at the Amway Arena. Your headliner in 2008 is a Nature Boy Ric Flair. The rest of your crew, this is there's a lot of Florida feelings in this group. They really lean into the region,
really did.
pretty heavily. So you've got Eddie Graham, legendary promoter, and one-time huge draw pro wrestler in Florida and elsewhere. Eddie Graham was a big deal in New York. Gordon Soley, the voice of Championship Wrestling from Florida, the voice of Georgia Championship Wrestling, the voice of Continental, the NWA and WCW. Mae Young. The less said, the better. Peter Maivia, the High Chief himself. Soul Man Rocky Johnson. And then as a group, you have Jack and Jerry Briscoe, the Briscoe brothers. So let's start with Flair, greatest in-ring professional wrestler of all time, arguably. The quintessential world heavyweight champion for close to 2 decades in the business. An often imitated guy. Even to this day, there's people that do Ric Flair shtick and only do it to a third of what Rick did. Like over the moon deserves to be the headliner of this group. I don't want to say this falls off the table after Ric Flair, but I'm going to say it dips a lot. There's a lot of questionable people on here from a national standpoint. I think Jack Briscoe deserves to be in the Hall of Fame alone.
Whoa. Yes, but I do understand why they put them in together.
And no doubt about it that the Briscoe brothers were a great tag team in mostly in Florida, but in Georgia, in Mid-Atlantic. Like they had their runs off and on, long feud with the Funks, decades-long feud with the Funks. They had the feuds with Ricky Steamboat and Jay Youngblood that did tremendous business. Jack Briscoe, much respected amateur wrestler and one of the greatest world heavyweight champions that the NWA had in the 70s. But, again, you're putting them in as a team. I'll give them their due. They're number 2 under Flair for this group. Gordon, I think Gordon is, deserves to be in there.
Yeah.
The voice of a lot of people's, like if we were talking before, Gorilla or Jim Ross might have been.
Depending on where you lived.
There's a lot of people that grew up on Gordon Soley's commentary and his persona in the argument for one of the greatest announcers, of I guess the pre-cable or early cable days. Eddie Graham ran that Florida territory, which was huge. He was part of the Golden Grahams tag team with a few people. It was almost like the Valiants because they had a few different brothers that came in and out. So it was Eddie Graham, it was Dr. Jerry Graham, and it was at one point Superstar Billy Graham. Although I don't think he was Superstar Billy Graham by then. I think he was just regular Billy Graham. But anyway, big tag team guy in New York, but anywhere else, he was a pretty big headliner. Not necessarily Hall of Fame worthy. And then Rocky Johnson doesn't deserve to be in anybody's Hall of Fame. Rocky Johnson stunk in the ring.
If Tony Atlas isn't
right, yeah, you're basically saying we love Dwayne and we want Dwayne to continue to do business with us.
Peter Maivia. I couldn't fucking tell you a single thing about Peter Maivia other than he's The Rock's grandpa.
Yeah, he's The Rock's grandpa, and he's dull as dishwater. As an in-ring guy, he was so in the 70s. You had like these pockets of sort of like the ethnic groups were all represented, and Peter was the Polynesian representative. So he was a tag team with Backlund, and then he turned on Backlund, and he was a heel, and then he became the High Chief after he was a heel. But he was still kind of like he was like a Putski or a Strongbow type character, where it's like, all right, he's a good second tier babyface or third tier babyface. He's never going to win a world championship. He was never like fast or good in the ring that you're like, oh man, he innovated this or he innovated that. Guy just he owned a Hawaiian territory that a lot of people like to, on their way back from Japan, back to the States, they like to stop in Hawaii, vacation, and during that 10 days they were vacationing, they're going to pick up a paycheck from Peter by working 2 shows on consecutive weekends.
I also think that a lot gets made of the fact when there's multi-generation wrestlers. If anyone in the midst there pops for whatever reason, more gets made out of the older generations than need be.
Right.
Because it becomes a story for the newer generations come on. I'm surprised that they're not hyping up The Rock's daughter being a 4th generation.
Oh my God. The less said, the better.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because I don't watch NXT. I'm not Geiger. I'm not watching NXT. But I can't imagine that woman is any good at anything.
Actually, I'd encourage you to just do yourself a favor and watch it and then report back. This is an assignment to you. You need to watch. You need to watch a. I
have to watch Sergeant
segment.
Slaughter and a Rock's daughter segment.
Yeah, exactly.
This homework sucks.
I know your homework is really kicking your ass. All right, so let's score it. I'm gonna go C. Love Flair. Flair's the fucking best. This is a
Flair
C. This is a Sear group.
Flair, yeah, I guess Flair brings it up to a C. I was gonna go D.
Yeah.
But I could see it being Flair and the Briscoes could carry. Yeah. Could carry a class.
Oh, and by the way, nobody knew fucking Mae Young's name in pro wrestling until she was brought back in the Attitude Era.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Although that was now entertaining, yes.
Character. They put her in a lot of fucking weird ass shit. So
that shit was entertaining as hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was just an old lady.
Yeah.
She was Moolah's friend, really.
Yeah, basically. All right, let's barrel through to 2009. Houston at the Toyota Center in Houston.
They really fucking go by the regions.
Yeah,
huh?
Yeah. You were headliner.
I didn't realize this.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
All right. Well, yeah.
Victoria, Texas's own. The rest of your class. Cowboy Bill Watts. Boomer Sooner. Howard Finkel. First ring announcer. Birdman Coco Beware.
That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Okay.
The Funks. Terry and Dory. Dory Jr.
Again, kind of like what you said with the Briscoes.
Mm-hmm. But. I'd put them over the Briscoes. And then the Von Erich family. Fritz, Kevin, David, Kerry, Mike, and Chris.
The reason I said that with the Funks is I feel like both of these guys should have gotten in
individually
okay, right.
prior
before getting in as a team.
Good point. Austin being the headliner is a big deal. It was the first time that Vince inducted anybody.
Yeah.
So
not even his own father.
Yeah, exactly. Big circle around Coco Ware.
Big.
Here's
big.
And I think it was just basically they were like, let's find a gimmick guy. Let's Let's get a fun person in this group.
But again, like I would argue that the guy that inducted him, being the Honky Tonk
HTM,
Man,
might have
should have
deserved a
gotten
little
in
bit more.
before Coco. And I'm not. This has absolutely nothing to do with their in-ring work. Coco Beware was far superior to the Honky Tonk Man. But if we're talking about memorable characters, the Honky Tonk Man is up there as like, my grandpa will still rant and rave about the Honky Tonk Man to this day.
Coco, the more I keep seeing highlights of Coco from before he got to WWF in 85 and 86. Motherfucker's got the best dropkick in fucking wrestling.
Oh my God.
And that Brainbuster, the Ghostbuster that he did was so
Jesus Christ, dude.
Wild.
That might be the best Brainbuster ever.
It is the best. Everybody else is Generico's got a great one.
Yeah.
But he's got a fucking phenomenal one. Coco does not belong in the Hall of Fame though.
No. Still to this day.
Howard Finkel was their longest tenured employee.
As a WWF Hall of Fame, WWE Hall of Fame, Howard Finkel would absolutely be in there.
Yeah.
Should he be in this soon? If we're talking about what?
Yeah. I would say yes, because
the first 10 years, probably. Okay, yeah. I could. He probably should have been in before James Dudley, but we'll digress.
Right.
Steamboat's
Hall of Fame. Funk's are Hall of Fame. Von Erich's are Hall of Fame. Yep.
Mike getting in is a little silly.
Yeah, but it's basically like your family was great. You had a lot of tragedy. Kev's the only one that can talk.
And I think that this might have been. Was this the year that they put out that DVD too?
Yeah.
This might have been the same.
Yep.
So we're in Texas.
They're selling. Yeah.
They're selling that world class documentary. All right.
No doubt.
This one feels. It's a good class, but it feels too. The regional thing is starting to bother me the more I notice it.
Okay. I'm giving it an S tier.
S?
S, yeah.
I cannot give Coco Beware S. I cannot give Bill Watts S.
I have to. Listen.
I'll say A.
Okay. All right.
I'll say A.
I can bring mine down to an A.
I mean, Stone Cold is the biggest draw in the history of that company.
In the history of the business. Steamboat's phenomenal. Funks are phenomenal. There's again, it's just like
the Von Erichs revolutionized that.
It's just like territory. It's just like the class with Brett, where you're like, there's four names that I see here that are just, or 4 slots that I see here that are home runs. Yes, the bottom half of it gets dug into your heels, but we'll go with A. We'll consensus on A. Could be debated.
It could just because you literally have you have Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Stone Cold and Terry Funk in the same class is actually insane.
I know, right?
But then you have fucking Coco Beware.
Well, yeah, you're right.
And that fucking racist piece of shit Bill Watts.
and technically Chris Von Erich too. Didn't even get in a movie.
And Mike and Chris can fucking kick rocks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just put David in the Hall of Fame. Fuck the rest of them. All right, let's go to 2010. We are in Phoenix, Arizona at the Dodge Theater. I've never been myself.
Neither have I.
Ted DiBiase is your headliner, and that's get ready for a rough group. Antonio Inoki, legend, founder of New Japan Pro Wrestling, legendary pro wrestler. Gorgeous George, the first true heel character in the history of the pro wrestling business. Maurice Mad Dog Vachon. Okay. AWA guy, Montreal guy.
Again, like a generational.
Yeah.
The Vachons.
Stu Hart, Calgary territory, father of Brett. Wendy Richter, first WrestleMania. Rock and Wrestling Connection, former women's world champion, and the first ever victim of a in-ring screw job. And then Mr. Baseball, Bob Uecker. Celebrity Wing gets one.
I would argue that Bob Uecker is the headliner of this fucking class.
This class is rough.
This is bad.
Yeah. We're doing people favors, or we're trying to catch up for, some stuff that we didn't get in the first few.
So I would say this is a class where it's like one, two people that like made their bones in the WWF.
Oh,
I mean,
listen,
Antonio Inoki was a jet. I mean, he probably made an appearance or two.
Yeah, and technically,
like he came over and like did stuff, but like it was.
And he had a controversial pinfall over Backlund, I think, and was like a phantom world champion at one point. Famously,
did that take place in Japan? Or was that over here?
It might have been at the Garden.
Because I know, like they did a lot of those things where like guys would go do tours in Japan. They dropped the belt.
Yeah, he dropped the belt in Japan, and then I think he came back
first night of the tour, and then get it back at the
they rematched them at the Garden, and they settled it at the Garden, and title was held up, and then Backlund.
So this is the first true class where I would say this is a strictly wrestling. If we're going based off wrestling, Hall of Fame, this would be a stronger class. But when you're putting your title of your company on it, this is D at best.
This is D, yeah.
And to have it headlined by Ted DiBiase, which $1 Million Man, fucking one of the best characters of all time. Yeah. But go back and look at the headliners the last few years.
For sure.
There are guys that could have headlined this that should have been on this list.
You want to save Roddy Piper for this one, and you would have done Roddy Piper at the middle of this one.
Oh my God, exactly. Like Steamboat. if you put DiBiase in that Hogan class, and put Piper here, that it would have elevated.
Yeah, it would have been at least to see.
This is by far the worst headliner.
This is tough.
Far.
Yeah, this is a tough group. The less said, the better.
Yeah, this D, and it's not a knock on any of these guys. It's just this does not move the needle.
No. I'm not going back to rewatch this.
This probably didn't sell very many tickets.
Maybe.
There were paper in the crowd.
Well, listen, Stan Hansen came back to induct Inoki into the Hall of Fame. That's
Oh, you did get Roddy Piper on it.
Something to be said for that. Yeah.
He inducted Wendy Richter. So you did get a Piper appearance.
It's true. And this was the year that they put they had the angle because Brett wrestled Vince at that Mania. And they were
that's the worst match of all time.
That was the angle that they talked about on TV where Vince is like, if you don't accept my challenge at WrestleMania, I'm not letting your father go to the Hall of Fame. And it's like, you motherfucker. The stupidest angle.
That is by far the worst wrestling match that's ever happened.
Yeah, it's garbage. All right, let's get to 2011. Phillips Arena in
this is crazy.
Atlanta, Georgia.
This is the craziest lineup I've ever seen.
Oh
my God.
This is a group. We're looking at a group here. Headliner, the Heartbreak Kid, Mr. WrestleMania himself, Shawn Michaels. Get ready for this. This
is bro. This is nuts.
I love it, but I also kind of hate some of these people. Abdullah the Butcher, Bullet Bob Armstrong, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Sonny, the Road Warriors, and Celebrity Wing Drew Carey.
This is bonkers.
The Road Warriors could have been a headliner the year before.
The Road War, yes.
Yikes.
This is nuts. First of all, Sonny getting in his fucking
they made amends with her this year.
Insane.
And she was in good shape, and they were like, hey, she doesn't seem like such a disaster area. Meanwhile, like 1 weekend after this, she was getting arrested for jumping in and out of windows, and it started her total decline. The less said about her, the better. She is in the Hall of Fame of wrestling scumbags, in my opinion.
She's, yeah. Drew Carey is also insane.
He did one thing for them.
Again, yeah. He did one thing. He was like pretty much the Fridge.
Uh-huh. Yep.
But like less impressive. Bullet Bob Armstrong and Abdullah the Butcher really had no presence in the WWF whatsoever.
Never.
And listen, I love Abdullah the Butcher because it's such a ridiculous, preposterous character.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, I think he's an Atlanta guy though.
Oh, he's an Atlanta guy. He's a Dallas guy. Yeah, he's.
Well, no, I think he's like from.
Oh, he was true. Yeah, he had lived in. Yeah, he was. He had that like, barbecue and Chinese place.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's like that kind of fits. I mean, the Road Warriors, bona fide studs.
Definitely.
I mean, Paul Ellering going in with them is a little weird.
No, I don't think so. Paul Ellering deserves like he was their first manager. He was key to their act. He just wasn't part of their act in WWE for any memorable stretches. But no, he was a key guy for the Road Warriors.
Early on, I guess. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. It's just like as their career went on, he faded.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. But Jim Duggan,
good hand, badass in the ring before he got to the WWF.
Absolutely ridiculous character,
and then he became a ridiculous character who was like a little mascot for the WWF.
But so this one is tough because I'm a Shawn guy.
Yeah.
For me, he's the GOAT.
Okay.
So the worst I could give this is a B.
I'm going to agree on the B. And I thought you were going to say an A, and I was actually going to concede an A if you wanted to get an A, just because the Road Warriors are such a strong like.
Shawn and the Road Warriors together are like can carry it, but Sonny and Drew Carey really fucking
they like Bullet fucking Bob Armstrong. Jesus, I know Atlanta. We're Southern wrestling, but let's give it a B.
Yeah,
let's go with that. That's a good idea. Let's move to 2012. 2012, we're in Miami, Florida. We're at the American Airlines Arena.
This is another wild.
And we've got quite a collection here. So your headliner is Edge, AKR, the Rated R Superstar Cope. Joining him in the Hall of Fame is Mil Mascaras, the All-American Ron Simmons, Yokozuna, the first faction technically that got into the Hall of Fame, the Four Horsemen, and then the celebrity ring is Mike Tyson. Now, Edge got into the Hall of Fame because at that time he had to retire because of the neck injury. So they gave him he retires the year before. This is the, hey, you're right into the Hall of Fame kind of thing. Feel good. A lot of people argued at this point. They were like, why are you putting the Four Horsemen in? You can induct each of those guys individually, Barry Windham, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, J.J. Dillon. But they felt it was better to pack them all together and put the Horsemen in as a faction and give Ric Flair the first double induction, which probably makes up for the turds that he was on his Hall of Fame class with, if I'm being honest. So, Yoko's good because it sort of gives you the and I think he had passed away in 2000 or 2001.
Yeah. I would say, if I'm going to be honest with you, the headliner's the weakest of the people in this class.
Could be. I mean, Mil Mascaras
and not that. Well, not that Mil Mascaras was like great or had any real impact on WWF business. But you could say that he was, especially like early on, he was the most famous luchador in the world.
Yeah, he was.
So like he was a pioneer of the luchadors and the Mexican lucha libre style.
And he was a guy that came in when you needed to spice up the card, and you would have these holiday shows. You would have Masquers on a holiday show, and he would come in. And he wrestled a bunch for them as a kind of a part timer.
The Four Horsemen are probably the greatest stable of all time. Yokozuna is one of the better big men that there's ever been.
Yep.
Ron Simmons, the first ever African American world heavyweight champion.
True.
Had an incredible run. And then Mike Tyson is part of the storyline that changed everything for
your biggest
business.
angle. Yeah.
He's part of... He should be the first celebrity that went into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I would argue that his impact was... His impact on that company was the biggest that any celebrity had.
Right. All right, what do we think?
See, it's
I'm gonna say C.
I would agree, only because Edge is an all-time WWF guy for sure, but I think they put him in too early.
Well, he was fresh on people's minds, and he was top guy for them. Yeah,
I totally get why they did it, but I feel like there are other, again, as a headliner, I would say that the Four Horsemen or Mike Tyson could have headlined.
Yeah, something to be said if they
Mike Tyson, as far as anyone on this list, Mike Tyson is by far the most pop culture significant people.
Yeah,
of almost anyone on any of these lists so far. Mike Tyson was known as the baddest man on the planet.
Yeah,
he was up there with Michael Jordan as the most famous athlete of the 90s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that's a guy that even as a celebrity could headline a Hall of Fame over Ted DiBiase.
Well, he got to share the stage with Mel Masquers and Barry Windham. Yeah. So we're gonna give this one a C.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's move to 2013. We're back in New York City, Madison Square Garden. An interesting class at Madison Square Garden, I will say.
Those were insane. This is another
insane one. You have Bruno Sammartino, the long-awaited induction of Bruno Sammartino as your headliner, followed up by his predecessor, the man who took over for him as the number one babyface in New York after Bruno was slowing his career down, Bob Backlund, Booker T, Mick Foley, Trish Stratus, and Donald Trump.
Again,
yeah, I'm gonna listen. I don't want to get political. Donald Trump showed up on their show a few times. Did a WrestleMania haircut match. Took the worst stunner, second worst stunner next to Linda McMahon. Hosted them for 2 WrestleManias in a row
in Atlantic City. Yeah,
they like him. Vince's.
I would
best
say
friend.
that. If you put all of that kind of everything now aside, if you just go by the year 2013,
it's right.
It's a notable celebrity.
Yes.
If you just put everything we know now outside of your heads,
right?
Everything that happened 3 years later outside, outside of your mind. Move on from that and just look. He would be a notable celebrity.
Of course.
If you're going to do a celebrity every year, he's one of the top guys.
You're in New York. You're in his town.
And you're in New York, of course.
Yep.
And then putting Bruno and Bob in New York again. In Madison Square Garden. That's that's awesome. I think that's like a great nod. Putting Mick Foley in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
A place where he famously hitchhiked to go see Snuka and Morocco in the cage.
Yeah.
And then went on to have numerous big moments. Booker T, again,
I think he just came back from TNA at this point.
Yeah. A guy that I would say inevitably should eventually have gone into the Hall of Fame. I don't think at this point he should have.
Mm-hmm.
And Trish, I think she was kind of near the end of her run.
She had retired already, and she
had just retired like fairly recently, or like a year or two earlier, maybe.
She quit in 2008, I think.
Was it that early?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think like she was,
I
think she was prego when she got inducted into the Hall of Fame. So like at this point, they're like, she's never coming back because she lives a life outside of wrestling, and they were happy that they had her back to do. I think she did a couple of she did a WrestleMania with Snooki, like a year or two before this. She did that one off.
And she was another one that they would like tout as like one of the women that changed.
Yeah, of course.
The way that they booked women's wrestling anyway.
What I see in this group is you've got 4 people, arguably 5, that could have headlined a ceremony themselves.
Yeah.
Aside from Trump, everybody else could have been like, and if they were smart and they were strategic about putting people in, I think they probably would have been like, well, we just made friends with Bruno again, so let's make sure Bruno's on top. And then the next year would have been Bob, the next year would have been Foley, Booker, and then Trish. Or Trish could have been the first woman headliner, Hall of Famer, and that would have blown everybody's fucking minds. And so it's a very strong group. In general, and like I remember this being a really fun Hall of Fame to watch, because Mick had a great speech and Trish had a great speech and Backlund's a maniac, and it was nice to see Bruno back in the fold. I go B. I'm going B. Yeah, I was gonna say it's a B because I think you have it's almost like you have too much star power.
Yeah,
and splitting up Bob and Bruno would have been the right move. But they decided to put them together because of the Garden, and it was a New York vibe. But it gets in there as a B.
Also, the fact that Maria Menounos inducted Bob Backlund.
Yeah, that's a bit strange.
That makes absolutely no sense.
Doesn't make any sense to me. Listen, it's not my job to pick apparently, like, she grew up a Bob Backlund fan, and they were like, let's get as many stars as we can get.
Fuck.
Well, what the fuck is with Arnold Schwarzenegger bringing Bruno Sammartino into the Hall of Fame? Like
these inductions.
Yeah. Stephanie McMahon for Trish. Did they not have a good relationship with Lita at the time? Probably not. Anyway, let's go to 2014. We're in New Orleans, Louisiana at the Smoothie King Center. One of the greatest venues in pro wrestling history for a Hall of Fame class that is headlined by, you guessed it, Ultimate Jim, the Ultimate Warrior. Joining him in this class is Carlos Colon. We'll get to him in a minute. Jake the Snake Roberts, the aforementioned Lita, Paul Bearer, Razor Ramon, and Mr. T is in your Celebrity Hall of Fame. They made a big, big deal about Ultimate Warrior being back for this one. And they were like, he's in the video game that year.
That's all it was.
He was, he was gracious enough to, like, come through and let them shoot, like, behind-the-scenes stuff.
This was their make amends for that.
The documentary, the DVD that they did.
I think that because they made that, and I'm pretty sure he sued them for it.
Of course, yeah.
This was the way to get his likeness into the video games,
yep.
and into merch and into action figures. This was a total look who inducts him, Linda.
Yeah. Well, Linda was like a second mom to him, apparently.
Yeah. No, bad.
Ultimate Jim can eat a big dick. There's a few people. By the way, Carlos Colon can eat a big dick. Man, he watched Bruiser Brody die in a locker room and did not step in. He will forever be on an eat a big dick team. Fuck that guy. And they did that to get the Puerto Rico footage that they've used like fucking 20 seconds of it since they got the Puerto Rico content. And there's so much good shit in Puerto Rico that fuck them. Fuck Carlos Colon. Fuck Ultimate Jim. Everybody else on this Hall of Fame class is cool. If you were going to put Trish
aside from Mr. T's
speech was stupid. Yeah.
It was 45 minutes.
But Mr. T was a headliner in the first WrestleMania. Mr. T was one of the reasons why people tuned into wrestling in 1985. So Mr. T is like, all right, he's a bigger celebrity in their universe than
I understand
a lot of the other guys that are there.
I totally get why he was there.
Yeah. That speech was terrible, though.
That was the most painstaking thing I've ever listened to.
Two of the best speeches were Jake Roberts and Razor Ramon this year, because they have both gotten their act together recently with the help of Dallas Page, and they were great. Lita, as we said, if you're going to put Trish in the year before, Lita's, she's part of this, so I totally support that, and even. Paul Bearer, old Percy Pringle. He was a big character for them. This is dragged down by Ultimate Jim and Carlos Colon.
This is C.
It's got to be it's
C at best.
And I hate that. Like the only thing that this is the reverse of the Dusty Crew, right?
Yeah,
where the bottom of those were kind of heavy, and they didn't allow it to bump up. The bottom buoyed it. They landed C. God damn, I hate Carlos Colon. Felt very strongly about that. All right, let's move to 2015.
This is another insane group of people.
We're in the SAP Center in San Jose, California. Headliner is Macho Man Randy Savage. This is a long group, by the way. This is fucking a lot of people. And we could have gotten two headliners out of this one. Alundra Blaze, a.k.a. Medusa Michelli. She's part of this group. Kevin Nash, Diesel. Favorite of the show. Larry Zbyszko.
Mini golf champion of the world.
Larry's the stall master himself. Larry Zbyszko is here. Rikishi. Fatu. Make a difference. Tatsumi Fujinami. The Bushwhackers, or the Sheep Herders, as I'd prefer to call them. Arnold Schwarzenegger. And then this is the first year that they did the Warrior Award with Connor the Crusher.
I would like to strike that from the record.
The Warrior Award?
I just don't want to comment.
Okay, all right.
It's like a little kid passed away. I mean, I don't want to factor that into what the jokes that I'm going to make about Rikishi making the Hall of Fame.
That's a good point. All right, so thanks for attending the ceremony, Connor Crusher family. But yeah, let's dig into the rest of these. Macho Man Randy Savage should have been in their Hall of Fame 10 years before this.
Yeah, did they wait for him to die?
They waited for him to die. The scumbag move of all time. And he was also, he kept saying like, well, if you want to put me in the Hall of Fame, you got to put my family in. You put the Von Erichs in. So Randy played a little fucking hardball with him. No pun intended. Former baseball player.
They should have. They should have.
Of course, yeah.
If you're gonna put the fuking Valiants in, you can put Lanny Poffo in.
You might have a point. Old 5033, the man with the World Sit-Up Championship, the Naval Sit-Up Championship, Angelo Poffo too. But Randy aside, great headliner. The rest of this crew is interesting.
I could kind of do without, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, Kevin Nash deserves a Hall of Fame nod.
He deserves a Hall of Fame. He deserves it. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, but does nothing for me. Okay. Kevin Nash is a Hall of Famer. Mm-hmm. There is not a single moment of anything Kevin Nash has ever done that I'm ever like, I need to go revisit that.
Okay, all right, fair play. I would invite you to see the what did he do with the X Division? Kevin Nash Paparazzi Productions. With the X Division guys in TNA.
I missed a bit of
that's
TNA.
fun. That's funny shit. That's funny shit.
It's funny. There's two Kevin Nash matches that I've ever rewatched, and it's the '95 Survivor Series match with Brett.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And the '96 Good Friends,
Better Enemies. That's
it.
That's good. All right. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, you hit your high spots. Finger poke of doom. Well, anyway, he's going to make their Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's going to make it.
Rikishi does not belong in anybody's Hall of Fame.
Never.
He's a cute character.
And if he's going to go in, he's got to go in as the Sultan.
See, I was going to say, give me the Samoan SWAT team in the Hall of Fame any day of the week. But Rikishi is not a Hall of Famer in my eyes. Shit. I love Larry Zbyszko. You know I love Larry Zbyszko. He's in my Hall of Fame. Let me just put it that way.
He's in the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame.
I stand up for the legend, the living legend Larry Zbyszko.
Again, like Alundra Blaze,
pioneer.
Larry Zbyszko,
yep.
Tatsumi Fujinami, Wrestling Hall of Famers.
Yep.
WWF Hall of Famers?
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
The fucking Bushwhackers?
Listen, Luke and Butch as the sheep herders. Yes.
The sheep herders.
Sheep herders. Fucking rule.
Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Rule.
Wrestling Hall of Fame. Pro Wrestling
Bushwhackers are stupid. Very stupid.
The Bushwhackers were... And fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger. They're in California.
Yeah.
That's why he's in.
Yeah.
But Arnold Schwarzenegger... What the fuck did Arnold Schwarzenegger do?
He stood in the crowd a couple times. That's about it. He was a bodybuilder, and they love bodybuilders.
I love Randy Savage. This is an F tier. This is an F tier Hall of Fame class.
Can I talk you? See, I have it as an A.
You can talk me into.
I have an
A.
You
can talk me into a D.
Larry Zbyszko. I'll talk you into a D. Man,
I fucking love Randy Savage.
It's a temerity.
I love Randy Savage. Everyone else on this list can fuck. And again, we are striking the Warrior Award from the record.
I am. By the way,
if we're including that, I would join you in an A because that young boy deserves all of his merit. Yeah. But
shout out to Connor the Crusher.
Fuck Rikishi. And fuck the Bushwhackers.
Let's go to 2016. 2016, a beefy group of Hall of Fame. This is where we start to see the legacy people, and we'll have to have a debate about the legacy people. We're in Dallas, Texas, the American Airlines Arena. Your headliner in 2016 is a man called Sting, Real Estate Steve himself, Sting. Let me get through all of the, and we're omitting the Warrior Award because Joan London, come on. The Big Boss Man, your favorite wrestler of all time, the Big Boss Man.
S tier.
The Godfather, favorite of the show. Miss Jacqueline, Stan the Lariat Hansen, the Fabulous Freebirds, Michael Hayes, Terry Gordy, Buddy Roberts, Jimmy Jam Garvin, Celebrity Wing, Snoop Dogg, and then for the first time ever, we've got a legacy, which we're not going to go over these guys individually, but Sailor Art Thomas, Ed Strangler Lewis, wrestling god himself, Frank Gotch, George Hackenschmidt, Luthez, Mildred Burke, Pat O'Connor. So we're gonna talk about everybody, but I like just the idea of having a legacy from here on out.
I do, and
is great.
This is where it becomes the Wrestling Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. This is where it officially becomes the Wrestling Hall of Fame and not the WWE Hall of Fame. And all of those guys, I've heard of them. Mm-hmm. I've never seen a single piece of footage, but I know that they were great, influential on the business, deserve to be in there.
I've mentioned it on the show before. I did see Luthez wrestle in a battle royal at the Meadowlands in 1987, and Pat O'Connor was also in that battle royal. So
what?
Yes, it was a Legends battle royal. We'll cover it in another show. I have a lot to say about it. It's on YouTube if you want to watch it. Sting's a great surprise hey, this guy wrestled one match at a WrestleMania up until this point?
No, up until this point. Did he? Wait.
Yeah, I feel like he wrestled.
Was that the year before?
The year before when they
when
they
were
in San Jose. Yeah.
Yep, you're right. Okay.
So this is after he come back and done the video game.
He did a few things.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Survivor Series. He wrestled against Seth Rollins.
Okay.
Okay. So Sting, we're happy with Sting. I think Sting again. This is the first guy who's headlining their Hall of Fame who absolutely did nothing worthwhile in his career in that company.
No.
But he's one of the greatest of all time. A lot of characters after that. I'm sure you will tell me what the Big Boss Man's resume, I'm sure, is hot on your mind.
The Big Boss Man's resume is lengthy as fuck. All right.
It's true.
He's one of the only guys that put a man in prison.
It's true.
Had a nightstick on a pole match.
Two.
Fed a man his own dog.
Mm-hmm.
Drove a man's father's casket around his own funeral.
That's right.
Had the Kennel from Hell match.
Kennel from Hell. Boy.
And was hung by the Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, but yeah.
And came back to life after being hung.
That's actually a good point. Yeah.
So, headliner? Yeah, think so.
Well, he also he failed to catch Jim Cornette when he fell off the scaffold in 86.
That wasn't the Big Boss Man. That wasn't the Big Boss Man.
All right. Okay. All right. Ray Traylor doesn't get.
I strike the guardian angel from the record.
Ray Traylor. No, he's great. Like he was a quintessential character for their
awesome.
company.
A great big man.
Yeah.
Had an unbelievably long run.
He had a long run. Yeah.
Was a, I would say, a pretty big draw.
Great Hogan opponent.
Great Hogan
opponent.
He was at that time probably one of the best Hogan opponents.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he was a big guy that was imposing, could
move,
work, and would fucking bump his ass off.
Yep, exactly.
And then when he became a babyface, was over as shit.
Yep.
Boss Man, I fucking love Big Boss Man.
Yeah.
But yeah, Slick inducting him makes it even better.
Yeah.
Fucking master of style.
It's
baby.
it just sucks that he had passed away.
Yeah.
Before he had actually gotten to be there and get the induction. So we're all in on Big Boss Man. Godfather's not a Hall of Famer.
No,
that guy's not a Hall of Famer.
Also, had so many gimmicks, and
yeah, seriously,
that was the only one that really hit. Although I feel like Papa Shango had legs, but they didn't give it enough time.
They waited. They didn't want to do that. They didn't want to do that Shango Taker match that we've talked about.
Yeah, disappointment. I would also argue that Jacqueline is not a Hall of Famer.
Miss Jackie was fun. She was good.
She was fun. A fun women's wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't afraid to dump him out.
Yeah, no, she dumped him out on what was that, British pay-per-view?
Yeah, but
got him out.
But I mean, as I would say the third contemporary woman that was inducted into the Hall of Fame, I don't think that. Stan Hansen,
great,
100%,
great. Stan Hansen's awesome.
Awesome.
Stan Hansen broke Bruno Sammartino's neck.
Fucking legend. Knocked Vader's eye out of his fucking head.
Fucking awesome. Stan Hansen.
I love Stan Hansen.
Stan Hansen's a national treasure.
And the Freebirds, again. Freebirds, I would argue that we probably should have left Jimmy Garvin out of that equation, but
that's going to piss off Michael. Well, the other two were passed away by this point.
I understand, but that version of the Freebirds was not really the Freebirds.
Greatest rock and roll band of all time. But they're as an act.
I get it. They were over, but when you think of the Freebirds, you think of the three guys.
Yeah.
You think of Michael, Terry, and Buddy.
Yep. Absolutely.
Jimmy Garvin is an afterthought.
He's a tag along.
Snoop Dogg, absolutely horrible celebrity to put in. I don't know what Snoop Dogg had done up to this point.
They fucking love him. And he's a guy that, like, if they're like, hey, we need somebody that's got notoriety to be here, I think he validates it. I think he's a fan.
I understand it, but at this point in time, I don't know that he had done anything.
He didn't have to. Snoop Dogg. He transcends rap. He's not like he had done a few of the WrestleManias. Like he had I think he like rapped the women to the ring one year, and that
had already happened at this point.
I think so. Yeah.
Again, and
he came back and he did that for Sasha.
Okay,
one of the years.
But I get lost in the timeline of shit, but
yeah, he'd been part of their product.
I would say it. C.
I go B. This is B for me for Sting, because Sting was unique.
But Sting is not a WWF guy.
Okay, fair enough. Even with the Boss Man, you're going C.
The Boss Man's the only reason this is a C.
Well, come on, Stan. All right.
Well, yeah, Stan Hansen. No, I'm only going C because, Sting had 4 matches in WWF.
It's true.
At this point in time. And then was supposedly retired.
Yeah, that was going to be the end of it. Haha, little did they know. Money talks. All right, we're between a B and a C there. We could come back. When we
B minus.
Let's go B minus. Great, a second tier. All right, then we move on to 2017. And we're at the Amway Center again in Orlando, Florida. Your headliner is the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle. Underneath him, you've got Beth Phoenix, who had recently retired herself. You have Diamond Dallas Page, chairman of the board of the Diamond Exchange. Ravishing Rick Rude. Theodore Arlong. The Rock and Roll Express. Eric LeGrand as the Warrior Award guy. And then here's your legacy, just to name them: Bearcat Wright, Dr. Jerry Graham, Haystacks Calhoun, Judy Grable, June Byers, Luther Lindsay, Martin Burns, Ricky Dozan, and Toots Mond.
That's an insane name.
Toots Mond ran Madison Square Garden in the 30s and 40s. So, just tackling the wrestlers of this Hall of Fame, Kurt Angle being the headliner, definitely deserves. And again, this is when he came back after being in TNA for so long, and this was the quote unquote end of his career. Kurt Angle is a great headliner out of this group. He's the standout. Nobody else comes to his level. Beth Phoenix, a good hand. They love, at this point, they love putting in these the women that were considered to be workers out of the retired lady wrestlers. They were like, we're going to get the workers in first. We're not going to put bikini models in there. Of course, they did put Sunny in, but Dallas is great. Dallas is a humanitarian. Dallas did so much. He was a great WCW heavyweight champion. He was the People's champion, technically before The Rock was the People's champion. Took him a long time to be good, but once he was good, he was very good. He sucked for the WWF, though. Absolutely sucked. The best thing he did was drive the limousine in WrestleMania 6 for the Honky Tonk Man, Greg the Hammer Valentine. Rick Rude's this was too late to put Rick Rude into the Hall of Fame, in my opinion.
Rude should have been in.
He should have been a lot earlier. Same thing with Rock and Rolls. I know they did not make their career in WWE, and they wrestled there sporadically and mostly as a
older team,
older gimmicky team. But the Rock and Roll, fucking so over, the Rock and Roll Express. Teddy Long's not a Hall of Famer to any stretch of the imagination. Goddamn, Theodore Arlong was a general manager. He was a fucking dancing fool. He was a crooked referee. He started as a crooked referee.
See,
he was a crooked referee twice.
Yeah,
Teddy Long. But they loved Teddy Long, and Teddy Long was he had the best wedding that they ever had in SmackDown history. when he got married to Crystal Marshall, who ended up being...
No.
Holy shit. Watch this. The wedding is fucking out of control. It's so fucking great.
The Billy and Chuck wedding's the best.
No,
wedding.
Wrong.
Yeah.
I'll die on this hill, and we'll have a future episode about wrestling weddings. The Teddy Long wedding in 2007 or 2008, whatever year it was, on SmackDown, it might be one of the greatest segments in SmackDown history.
I don't know that I've ever actually seen
Holy shit. Drew Hill, the R&B group Drew Hill, I believe it was Drew Hill, sang...
Cisco?
Yeah. Well, Cisco might not have been part of Drew Hill at this point. But there was an R&B group that sang, and the whole roster was sitting in seats at ringside, swaying their arms to this. It's fucking awesome. Hornswoggle's in it. It's tremendous stuff.
Okay.
More homework for Tom to go check out the Teddy Long, Crystal Marshall wedding.
That's my dark age.
Yeah. That's the greatest thing that Teddy Long did in pro wrestling. But what do we think? I like a lot of the names here. I'm going to tell you. I'm big on these names.
This is the thing that fucks me up. Is it by calling it the WWE Hall of Fame? Mm-hmm. That's what kind of sways my opinion on some of this stuff. Right. Beth Phoenix had like a 4-year run. Don't consider her a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like I said, it's
DDP had a year, and it was all dog shit. Rick Rude, bona fide Hall of Famer. Kurt Angle, bona fide Hall of Famer. Mm-hmm. Teddy Long doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame. The Rock and Roll Express, one of the best tag teams of all time, had almost no impact on the WWE. Yeah. I'll give this a C.
I give it an A. It's an A from me.
And this is not like if we're going pro wrestling Hall of Fame, mm-hmm. I'd give it a B. I'd go up to a B because I would say that DDP, Kurt Angle, Rick Rude, and the Rock and Roll Express all have their place, but Teddy Long and Beth Phoenix drag that down significantly to me.
All right.
I don't think Beth Phoenix even sniffs the Hall of Fame in any sense of the... Like, dude, she fucking wrestled for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I know. She did good.
She was all right. Yeah, she had a good run.
Yeah,
One good run is not Hall of Fame worthy.
Well, all right. So let's meet in the middle. We're gonna call that one a B tier.
Well, I'll say B.
B. Okay. All right. Let's move to 2008, where we're back in Louisiana, back at the Smoothie King Center.
You don't want to hear my opinion on this one.
Oh, this is going to be quickly debated and then sent away.
I don't think that this needs a debate.
Your headliner is Bill Goldberg. Your Hall of Fame class is Hillbilly Jim? ? Ivory? ? Double J, the chosen one, Double J, Jeff Jarrett. Mark Henry. Bubba Ray and Devon, the Dudley Boys, representing the Dudley Boys. No other Dudleys were allowed in. J.J. Robertson is the Warrior Award. Kid fucking Rock is a celebrity. Legacy class. I'm starting to like the just basically picking names out of the hat for the legacy class at this point. Professor Boris Malenko, Cora Combs, Dara Singh, El Santo, Hiro Matsuda, Jim Landis, Lord Alfred Hayes, Rufus R. Freight Trains Jones, Stan the Man Stasiak, Sputnik Monroe. You got some names in that legacy class that fucking rule.
I think the legacy class is better than the actual
It rules.
class.
Some of these guys fucking rule. Love to hear Hiro Matsuda, if he was still alive, talk at that point about being a wrestler and breaking Hulk Hogan's leg.
This is
William Goldberg, headliner. Everybody else.
This is the F's of F tiers. You couldn't Zell me enough money to go to this.
I love Jeff Jarrett, though.
I love Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett is the only redeemable quality on this fucking list.
Listen, the Dudleys were a good team.
Bubba Ray Dudley is the most insufferable person on the planet.
Yeah. He's
everything.
He loves the scent of his own farts, that guy.
He's much like Hulk Hogan in everything he did in the wrestling business while he was in the ring is slaughtered by everything he did after he left. Yeah. Fuck that guy forever.
This is a D. We have to give it a D. We can't give it an F. I don't know if we're giving anything F tiers. Right. This is the D'est of D tiers.
This is the hillbilly fucking
Hillbilly Jim. Right, and Ivory. Come on.
Kid Rock.
Sang on the show twice.
He can't make the fucking Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. How's he making any other Hall of Fame?
It's true. It's a good point. Yeah, no. Oh, this, by the way, this was, had they started their podcast together, Mark Henry and Bubba Dudley at this point? This is the makings of a shitty podcast, is what this is.
I feel bad for Devon, honestly, that he's associated with that hunk of shit.
By the way, flowers for El Santo, the greatest Mexican luchador of all time.
And I fucking love Lord Alfred Hayes.
Being in that group. Yeah, Al Hayes, come on. They should have put, Al Hayes should have been in 20 years ago.
When I was a kid, I thought Lord Alfred Hayes was the same guy as the guy from Lifestyles of the Rich and the Famous.
Robin Leach and Al Hayes.
I thought they were the same person. I was like, damn, Lord Alfred Hayes is like going all over the place. Checking out these rich people's mansions.
Who knew he was that rich? All right, 2019. Get ready for this one. We're in Brooklyn, New York, Barclays Center. This is the first year that they did it in the ring, which I can't say enough about how terrible that looks on television.
It does. But, yeah.
Trash. But your headliners are D-Generation X, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Chyna, Road Dogg, Bill Gunn, X-Pac. Your undercard guys are Brutus Beefcake, the Honky Tonk Man, Tori Wilson, ? Harlem Heat, the Hart Foundation, Sue Atchison, who they do say Sue Atchison was like a great person behind the scenes for them. She's the Warrior Award. And then you've got the Legacy. The Legacy is fucking stacked. The Legacy should be the fucking Hall of
crazy.
Fame. Playboy Buddy Rose, Bruiser Brody, Hisashi Shinami, don't know him, Jim Barnett, Joseph Cohen, don't know who the fuck Joseph Cohen is.
Me either.
Luna Vachon, Primo Carnera, Special Delivery Jones, Professor Toru Tanaka, and Wahoo McDaniel, Chief Wahoo McDaniel. I want to go to the ceremony where they're inducting Bruiser and Wahoo McDaniel and Luna Vachon and Jim Barnett into the same Hall of Fame.
That's insane.
That's fucking nuts. keep the chairs bolted down. DX as your headliner with the rest of these. Literally, like, I love the groups in this. They make sense.
Are great. The
individuals are honk. Listen, Honky Tonk Man.
I would say Honky Tonk Man is a Hall of Famer. The other two are hilarious.
Not. Brutus Beefcake can go fuck himself.
Brutus Beefcake's the biggest piece of shit of all time.
And Tori Wilson. Come on, Tori Wilson.
Listen, just because you're a good-looking woman does not make you a Hall of Famer.
You're not even the Hall of Fame of good-looking women. She's not in.
Harlem Heat and Hart Foundation, absolutely.
Definitely.
I even think that they probably should have done the Hart Foundation, like the second generation.
The 97 Hart Foundation, and figured out. But it was the thing that held that back.
Is because they were doing DX, right?
No, it's because they went to Martha and they said
because they won't put in.
And Martha's like,
she won't allow.
I refuse to let him be part of that Hall of Fame. And they were like, all right, well, we can't do it with just Brett, Jim, Davey, and Pillman.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Owen's integral, so then it shrunk down to the
makes sense.
Tag Team Hart Foundation.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Harlem Heat deserves it. Again, literally not a single WWF match. So
right, yeah. Sure.
But DX again. Wait till Chyna's dead to put her into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Cowardly move.
Got a bit of a stinko on it, yeah.
I'll give this a C.
This is a C for me as well. It's a C. Listen, parts of it, like I said, the groups are great.
Are great.
It's their best legacy Hall of Fame.
Best legacy.
Up until that point.
the worst individuals.
The individuals, yeah. I can't stress enough how Tori Wilson.
There is not a single second in the history of wrestling in which Brutus Beefcake sniffed a Hall of Famer's fart.
Nah. Well, he did. He probably sniffed the Honky Tonk Man's farts, but that's between the two of them. So so 2020, they didn't do the ceremony until 2021 because of COVID. Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, they did this in the Thunderdome. Your headliners, the headliners were the New World Order, which was Kevin Nash, Hollywood Terry Jean, Scott Hall, and Sean Waltman. Underneath them, JBL, Jushin Thunder Liger.
That's okay.
The British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith, the Bella Twins, William Shatner, Titus O'Neil gets the Warrior Award, and they must have dumped. Well, I mean, okay.
They dumped a clip the year before.
The legacy. Listen, there's 3 guys on this legacy team that I would go bananas for. Baron Mikel Leone. No, thank you. Not familiar with you. Brickhouse Brown was a goddamn jobber and never worked in the WWE, and wasn't a headliner literally anywhere. Playboy Gary Hart's one of my favorite managers of all time. Ray the Crippler Stevens should have been in their Hall of Fame 20 years ago.
Had a real induction.
And then Dr. Death Steve Williams, another guy, they just probably picked his name out of a hat. Let's look at the headliner on this one being the NWO. C. I'm giving this a D.
I think, okay, so the reasoning behind C is I think that the NWO is one of the most influential things that's ever happened in wrestling. Mm-hmm. I do also think that it was the ultimate, the booking of that was the ultimate downfall of WCW.
Uh-huh. True.
It was, it created their highest of highs and was the reason for their lowest of lows.
It sunk. It sunk
the company.
Yeah.
I fucking love Jushin Thunder Liger. And the British Bulldog should have been in way before this.
Yeah. True.
JBL is whatever. The Bella Twins are not.
No, they always sucked.
They were fucking 2 of the top guys at this time, so that's why they're in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
William Shatner.
Come on. Appeared 2 times.
I could do without ever hearing William Shatner speak again. Titus O'Neil. Okay.
Well, he's a Warrior Award, so we're not gonna.
Yeah. You know what? I'll go D.
Yeah, it's got to be D. It's D for me.
Yeah, I'll go D.
It's D for me.
That's fine.
We don't need Hogan in the Hall of Fame a second time.
No.
All right, let's move to 2021, which they did the same night in Tampa.
Oh my fucking
no crowd.
God.
This is a disaster area. Although there are some bright spots. The headliner is
bright spot.
The headliner's Kane. That's your headliner. I'll repeat that for the people who didn't hear me. The headliner is Kane. With him, Eric Bischoff. That's hilarious. Molly Holly, national treasure. What a sweet woman, and what a good pro wrestler she was. Rob Van Dam. Rob Van Dam's great. One of the best in-ring guys that they ever had. The Great Khali, an absolute fucking turd.
What? I did not know that this happened.
Absolute turd. Yeah, right, exactly. Great Khali's in their Hall of Fame. The celebrity wing is Ozzy Osbourne.
Love Ozzy Osbourne. I don't know why he's in the Hall of Fame.
Warrior Award is some dude named Rich Herring. He probably carried somebody's gear. This legacy Hall of Fame is fucking
wild.
It's craziness. But because I think they were just name some guy. They pulled somebody aside and said, just name people. And
they were someone was watching tape and was just like, oh, that's a Buzz Sawyer versus Dick the Bruiser match.
So Buzz Sawyer, Buzz Sawyer is in their legacy Hall of Fame. Dick the Bruiser, Ethel Johnson.
Who the fuck?
Paul Bosch, who was a great promoter and incredible. I think he was the NWA president for a long time too, and then Pistol Pez Watley, who was literally a job guy in the WWF after he had done some decent work in Mid Atlantic. That legacy group is fucking.
This is
This is
as D as D gets, buddy.
I will tell you that Molly Holly and Rob Van Dam are very good in-ring workers. Eric Bischoff should never be anywhere near their Hall of Fame. I don't care how good he was as a GM on their TV show. Eric Bischoff does not belong anywhere near their Hall of Fame. And don't get me started on Khali. And I think Ozzy showed up as like a guest host once. And they were like,
I think, he was at WrestleMania 2 or 3.
Oh, that's right. Yes, he was at 2. British Bulldogs Forever.
Yeah.
Why didn't you put him in with? You could have put him in with Davey Boy.
Like, why the fuck would you wait like 30 years after he appeared on TV?
Wow, 2021. 2021 might be the worst class.
It is 100%.
That's a shit class. Let's go to 20.
That's hard.
Let's go to 2022. We're back in a ring. We're in Dallas, Texas, at the American Airlines Arena. This is a group. The Undertaker, Mean Mark, he's your headliner. Gathering with him is Queen Sharmell. Queen Sharmell? Okay.
That's nuts.
Yeah, that's stupid. Big Van Vader.
Bonafide Hall of Famer.
A tag team, the Steiner Brothers. Fuck yeah, the Steiner Brothers. And Shad Gaspar, Warrior Award.
That's one that I'll include the Warrior Award.
He had died
in because that dude that dude went out.
He saved his son.
I'll give this a B because the only weak link is Sharmell.
Yeah, Sharmell. Come on.
Sharmell prevented this from being A, actually.
Yeah.
She's the only reason that she has absolutely no business being in the Hall of Fame. That's fucking insane.
Listen, Sharmell can lead this team. This is my Survivor Series team, and she can lead them to the ring, but that's about it. Let these fucking behemoths. Even Shad could fucking throw hands. But Jesus, yeah, great. What a great crew. And you had
Taker, Vader, and the Steiners. It's
tainted with Sharmell.
You couldn't have put. Honestly, they should have posthumously put in China by herself.
Yeah, right. Or even all right, listen, I know they're doing it this year. This is an opportunity. Just put McCool in there before Queen Sharmell. Come on.
If you're going to put her in with Taker or something. Yeah. But dude, there are 100 women that could have gone in before fucking Sharmell.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so you said we're giving this B. I have B on my notes as well. 2023, we're at the Crypto.com arena in Los Angeles, California.
They're really trimming them down here.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we lost the legacy last year. The year before, we lost the legacy people because they were like, all right, we mistakenly put Buzz Sawyer into Hall of Fame. We can't really come back from this. We have to put that on ice.
That motherfucker had the sickest power slam
ever. It was awesome. I know. It's awesome. It's great. The problem is that he was a fucking drug addict lunatic. Anyway, Pistol Pez Watley's in their Hall of Fame. All right, so the headliner this year was Rey Mysterio Jr., still an active competitor, by the way. Stacy Keibler goes in.
Not a Hall of Famer.
Not a Hall of Famer. Listen, you want to put her in the celebrity wing? Go ahead. Put her in the celebrity wing. The Great Muta.
Again, Hall of Fame.
All-time guy. All-time
Hall of Fame. Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer. Never had a single match in the WWF.
Right. Andy Kaufman in the celebrity wing of the Hall of Fame is great. I love that.
That is a good celebrity.
That's a great celebrity. That's top tier. And then Timmy White got the Warrior Award this year. This is a tricky one. I gave this one a B.
I would go B because you literally have, I would say, the best luchador of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And the best or most reputable Japanese wrestler of all time in the same class.
Right. And
along with arguably the most infamous celebrity wrestler of all time.
A person who actually used wrestling in his stand-up bit. Yeah, I mean,
he broke the mold for celebrities to get into wrestling, really.
I agree with you. More should be talked about when you talk about Andy. So, yes, Andy is definitely a Hall of Famer, and he definitely beefs up the class.
And Tim White, again, like, just like Shad, where it's like there's nothing negative to say, and like it's an actual like wrestling, like some of those people were, they were just like
office people or
fans or office people who got sick and stuff like that. This is a guy that was on camera, was an awesome referee. Fucking took some crazy bumps.
Yeah, exactly.
As a guy, and they infamously did like all of their like
the ballroom brawls and his
all their
the friendly tap. Yeah,
ballroom brawls in the friendly tap, which is like that's fucking awesome.
It's a great running joke. Tim White's a good dude. All right, so let's move to 2024. We're in Philadelphia. This was last year, Wells Fargo Center last year. The headliner, Paul Heyman, Paulie Dangerously. Underneath Paulie is Bull Nakano. I talk a lot about Bull Nakano. She's fantastic. Leah Maivia, Thunderbolt Patterson, T-Bolt himself, the U.S. Express, Barry Windham and Mike Rotundo, Celebrity Wing, Muhammad Ali, no Warrior Ward. That's been basically
nixed,
retired, and no legacy on this one. So I love Paulie. Paulie's my guy. Paulie,
me too.
And Bobby Heenan are 1 and 2 in my mind in managers. Everybody else is a little thin. I got to be honest.
Honest. 100%. In terms of, like, they are Pro Wrestling Hall of Famers. Bull Nakano is one of the best Japanese women wrestlers of all time.
Yeah.
Leah Maivia did a lot for
great promoter.
For the promotion of Samoan wrestling. Thunderbolt Patterson was a legendary African American wrestler. And I think this is going to sound shitty, but I think the only reason that the U.S. Express gets the nod here is because of Bray's passing.
Yeah, you're 100% right on that. But
Muhammad Ali should have been in the celebrity wing
long ago,
before Ozzy Osbourne and Snoop Dogg and before William the Refrigerator Perry. Yeah. Like, Muhammad Ali was part of the first WrestleMania. He should have been the celebrity inductee in that, like, Hogan group.
Yeah.
I have to give this a C because Paulie is really like the only one.
Barry Windham gets to be a 2-time Hall of Famer through this, by the way. It's fascinating that he's a 2-time Hall of Famer before Hunter. So let's get to the ones that are going to be inducted this year for this Hall of Fame. Hunter Hearst Helmsley, Triple H is the headliner. This one, by the way, is going to be at the some fucking ballroom in Las Vegas, the Fontainebleau, Las Vegas. Don't make me say that twice. Triple H going in as your headliner. This is a real rocky road underneath this. Lex Luger, long overdue. Lex Luger should have been in their Hall of Fame.
Yep. Michelle McCool has no business being in the Hall of Fame.
She's her sexual partner got her into the Hall of Fame. The natural disasters are interesting choice. Typhoon and earthquake.
Listen, I think that earthquake could be a Hall of Famer.
Okay, right.
Eventually. Typhoon.
You're not making a case for tugboats or Shockmasters. If this dude doesn't break through a wall and fall face first getting into that ring, he's not doing it right.
No. Okay, yeah. So natural disasters is a shaky at best tag team to induct into the Hall of Fame.
It's true.
I'm not 100% sure why they're doing it.
Yeah. I mean, again, you got other tag teams. They haven't inducted the Midnight Express, and I know
they haven't inducted Demolition.
Yeah, right. You're right. The first time ever we're seeing what they're calling an immortal moment being inducted into the Hall of Fame. The no holds barred, no disqualification submission match from WrestleMania 13. Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin with Ken Shamrock as the special guest referee. Very interesting. I don't want to spend too much time on why I think this is silly and it sets a bad precedent. No. But they wanted to do something like this for years, apparently. And now they're like, and it was Hunter's idea to do this for years. And now that Bad Man gone, they can finally turn around and do it. So they're going to induct that match.
I wonder why. I wonder how many Hunter matches are going to get inducted in the next few years.
Yeah. Oh, Hunter, Sean, they're all Sean Taker, they'll all be there. And then you have your legacy is back, and your legacy members. I fully support all three of these guys. Dory Funk Sr.,
100%.
Ivan Koloff, the Russian Bear.
Yep,
could have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago. And Kamala, old Sugar Bear, Jim Harris, posthumously inducted. All three posthumously inducted into the Hall of Fame out of the legacy field. This has got B vibes. I like giving this a B because I'm really happy that Luger's getting in.
I'm happy that Luger's getting in. Triple H definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
The legacy guys deserve to be in there now.
Yeah.
The immortal moment thing.
It's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how they do that induction.
It's interesting to put that as the first, like I said to you offline, it's interesting that they put this into the Hall of Fame as the first moment or match, and then make a top 50 wrestling WrestleMania matches and don't put this at number 1.
True.
That's an interesting side note.
Yeah.
I don't personally feel as if the Natural Disasters or Michelle McCool should be in the Hall of Fame at this point with so many other people still on the table. I don't think that they should be in there yet. I don't think Michelle McCool deserves a Hall of Fame spot ever. The Natural Disasters I could see putting in after you put some other tag teams in. There are a lot of tag teams where if you're going to put tag teams in, and I know you're trying to put guys that haven't been in yet, so maybe that's part of it.
Could be.
But there are a lot of tag teams, whether it be within WWE, WWF, or outside, that could have
they could have gotten a nod. You're right.
I would say the Nasty Boys would even be like a more Hall of Fame worthy career. The Natural Disasters had a 2-year run.
True.
Like if you're going to put them in as a tag team, you're putting them in as Earthquake and Typhoon.
Yeah.
They were a tag team from 1991 to 1993.
Yeah. They didn't have a long run. You're right. Well, listen, I'm not going to beat them up over that.
I'm just saying. I'm not.
Again, I love the top of the class. B. We'll give it a B.
B.
All right. That takes care of it. That's a long episode, by the way.
This is a marathon.
And we are going to put this out before Mania. I will have the tier list on our socials. Maybe not the day that this comes out, but certainly within the before you hear the next episode, you'll get a chance to see what the tier listing looks like. I feel good about most of this stuff. The only real debate is that Sting year. And there's a few other things that we, probably could have talked at length about to figure out. But I think we went deep on this one, Tom. I think we gave a lot of people a lot of things to think about.
6 feet deep.
And I hope everybody has their Hall of Fame speech ready. By the way, who would be the guy that has not made their Hall of Fame who you're going to induct? Just real quickly.
Beast from the East, Bam Bam Bigelow, baby.
That's a great one. For me, I'm still waiting for Jim Cornette to pass away, and I'll induct the Midnight Express.
There we go.
That's my guys. All right. This has been a marathon. Thank you for sticking with us on this one. For Tom, this is Mike. We hope you have a great night, and we will see you at the matches.